Hokage Hatake Glory, Chapter 381-400. Text Chapter 381 _ I'll do it again without noticing. What is this thing? White Zetsu forced out by Senpo, Sage Art Chakra was knocked down as soon as he appeared. Interesting Academy first release. QB, 9 tails, 8 tails, +2 Jinchuriki column power, and the super scourge of Liamong is present. Poor White Zetsu classmate, like a cup full of cups on the coffee table. However, no matter how tragic, his task has been completed. Report to Kumogakure immediately, we need to transfer. The calculations, it didn't count that Killer Bee would win the jackpot. When did he get infected with this kind of thing? Liamong pinched his chin and thought for a while, if it wasn't for the change in this thing just now, I might have discovered it. What? Killer Bee, they were found. Bang hands. The pat on the table stood up, the 4th-generation Hokage, bifurcated beard pouted, and the messenger ninja hurriedly sent the letter over. The 2-day scale Onoki said across his old eyes, since the information has been leaked, it is necessary to redraw the battle plan. The enemy who knows our information through the leaked information will surely come to reconnaissance, which will make it easier to set a trap. Where? The island. Senju Tsunade glanced at the 4th Hokage. QB, 9 tails, Jinchuriki column force has just returned, and Killer Bee must be kept safe. The island of the 8 turtles, Yamato Tianzang shouted excitedly, we must transfer immediately. We're already moving. What do you mean __? Don't get excited. He looked at the mountain city Aoba, and explained with a smile, this island can't be found on the map, and even if they look for it, it's not so easy to find. Because of what? Because this island is a fortress of activity. It's the starting point of the interesting academy. Ji folded his arms and grinned confidently. Yamashiro Aoba Yamato and Tien Zhangquan were shocked. What do you mean, this island is alive? Nodded, that's right, the island under our feet is a giant tortoise that Kumogakure has kept since ancient times. Nothing, I'm just a little turtle still in infancy. Who is talking? Look there. Ji raised his arm and pointed forward, and everyone who ran to the side of the mountain finally saw the true face of the island. Hello, it's a great pleasure to meet you. You. Wow, what a big bastard, come and see the boss, bastard. Super bastard. Human boy with yellow hair, I'm a turtle, not the same breed as the bastard you mentioned. Also, I'm not old at all. According to your human age, I'm still a child. Little child. Is there a turtle bigger than you in the world? Uzumaki Naruto's eyes bulged, like a frightened toad. Yamato Tenzo looked at the tortoise, and turned his head not very relieved. Even if it can move, it is not safe. If it is reconnaissance from the air, it is still easy to be found. I think we should immediately return to Kumogakure. Lord Hokage, is that island reliable? The enemy's target is the 2 of them, and they will find it no matter what. Don't worry, Princess Slug, I've made a movement route in advance, just to prepare for this possibility. Unless they can fly above the clouds, there is absolutely no possibility of them finding out. Terumi glanced sideways at Hokage. Even if they wanted to search, they wouldn't send a large group of people to divide the troops with a sea of tactics, which is exactly what we want. Mizukage-sama, it's better not to be careless. Senju Tsunade crossed his hands and nibbled at the tips of his thumb. Akatsuki has the ability to fly, and even has the ability to time and space. Even if the island can move, it may not be able to escape. The enemy will inevitably conduct a large-scale search. In short, we must send reinforcements. But it is meaningless to send a large force to be detected by the enemy, so only a small number of elites can be sent. Quote. Who is going? There are only a few things to do. Faced with the current problems, the 4th-generation Hokage, as the commander-in-chief, naturally cannot act rashly, and the 5th-generation Mizukage, who is in charge of intelligence, cannot move. Senju Tsunade. Let me go. Lord Tsuchikage. HMPH. Onoki is going, I have no problem. 4th Hokage snorted, this old man is very reliable. What is very reliable? It must be called very reliable. Indeed. Senju Tsunade nodded slightly. If you are an old man who can fly in the air, you must be fast enough. However, are you really okay? What do you mean? Slug chick with a tough mouth. Giggle, this princess is just worried about your old waist. As a medical ninja, this princess has the professional ethics of doing good deeds, respecting the old and caring for the young. It is very necessary to remind you that you must protect yours. Old waist. Hateful. I am a 2-day scale Onoki who inherited the horror name of Tsuchikage. What can I do with a small back pain? Look, does this old man look like a person in trouble? The old man is very strong, and the old man is very healthy. By Senju Tsunade, Gun and Stick remarks, the old man Tsuchikage jumped up and down and posed. Kuritsuchi Kitu, who was standing behind him, blinked blankly and lowered his head. 1, 2, 3. Ga. My waist. Master Rakage, I think it's better to tell Master Kazekage to return, he is also very fast on the sand. Bastard, if I say go, I will definitely go, this old man is a terrifying 2-day scale Onoki. My waist. Grandpa is here again. Lord Tsuchikage is still so lively. Tom. Bang. The coffin board that emerged from the ground crashed to the ground, and the figure who staggered out came out with white smoke. Yakushi Kabuto stabbed the reincarnator behind the head with a spell. This is a very familiar figure. The spell I use is an improved version of Orochimaru, Sama's original version, and it won't completely bind your soul. After all, I'm not familiar with you, nor do I understand your art, Deidara. It doesn't matter, anyway, my art is not so easy to understand. But I still want to thank you, I have completed the ultimate art, next time I will challenge a higher realm. Are you talking about the battle you fought with Uchiha Sasuke? Yakushi Kabuto pushed his glasses and said very shockingly, the explosion you made before you died didn't seem to have caused any shock, even people who knew about it. Or very few. Quote. Are there really few people? Yakushi Kabuto nodded and said nothing. Deidara got angry. It's just a matter of time, a matter of time. Forget it, since they didn't pay attention, I'll let them pay attention this time. Go to bed and prepare a new book tomorrow. Text chapter 382_ the guy who doesn't stop even when he dies. You can only fly to the beach. Baidu Interesting Academy. Li Tianliang Onoki grinned helplessly. Red Earth. Wow, do you want to fly? The bean bag, which grew into a small mountain, said excitedly, it's been a long time since I flew, I'm really looking forward to it. Why are you so excited? We're going to fight. Well, fight. I am a Superman who protects the peace of the earth. Raising his right arm high, he flew to the sky, and the chubby Superman took the lead. Tsuchikage with a black line on his forehead said with a speechless expression, next is you, Kurathashi. Grandpa, is it my turn? Grandpa, you are so handsome Grandpa. Handsome, is the old man handsome? Well, the old man is very handsome. Hurry up, I'm leaving, I am Ultraman who protects the universe. 3 generations of Tsuchikage. Old man, how did the old man give birth to such a brain-dead granddaughter, and accept such a apprentice, a Superman, an Ultraman, what else can you do? Earth is too dangerous, boy, you better go back to Mars. Grandpa, hurry up and follow, Grandpa. Right now. Onoki raised his eyes and glanced at his hands, and he didn't know whether he was learning to fly or swim with fish, and the terracotta Kuritsuchi floated up. In the sky where the original Turtle Island was located, 2 uninvited guests came one after another. The place is wrong. Yakushi Kabuto sat on the clay bird and pulled the scroll, looked around and found the problem, the island is not here. This is the intelligence you gathered. You can't blame me. I didn't collect this information, but the current leader of Akatsuki. Baidu Interesting Academy. You said Afe. Deidara snorted with a dark face, can that long-winded boy be the leader too? He said his name was Uchiha Madara. Yakushi Kabuto pushed up his glasses sadly. Deidara laughed when she heard this, covering her belly so that she could hang in the air. He said his name was Uchiha Madara. Then I said my name was Six Paths Immortal. If that guy was Uchiha Madara, I would. Yakushi Kabuto, who hit his right face with his left face, flew out. What a light fist. Yeah, then it's going to be heavy this time. Added weight rock technique feat. Yo, is it the old man Tsuchikage who likes sneak attacks? Yakushi Kabuto, who was hit again, said that he exploded into white smoke. 2 days, Onoki's eyebrows raised, although it was only a tentative attack, but this guy was too unbearable, and what happened to that bird and Deidara over there? Impure world reincarnation. Good knowledge, worthy of being the oldest shadow in existence. Onoki, who saw this thing, stared straight at it. The clay clone is really the kid Deidara. Long time no see, you stinky old man, don't sit in Iwagakure and wait to die. What are you going to do? I'm not messing around blindly. The 2-day scale. Onoki glanced at his disciple with extreme tiredness. Really, it doesn't make people stop after death. Don't look down on me, old man. Art is a blast. Boom, boom, boom. People and birds exploded one after another, and 3 piles of debris fell from the orange yuhi-colored flames. Yakushi Kabuto looked at Deidara suspiciously. It's a rock clone of yuhi soil. We thought of a piece. That stinky old man is still as cautious as ever. Brother Deidara, how are you? Brother Lala, do you remember Kuretsuchi? These 2 guys. Damn girl, don't call me Lala. Ah, don't you like it? Then call you Didi, or Dada. Brother Didi, brother Dada, brother Didi Dada. Enough, we are enemies now. Yo Deidara, the old man Tsuchikage sneered while blowing his beard and staring at his beloved disciple. You who were killed by the Konoha kid, why are you so cheeky? Stop talking nonsense. Uchiha Sasuke has already been killed by me. Well, what do you mean by that? Isn't he dead? It seems that this guy really doesn't know anything, It's really embarrassing for the old man to not talk about growing up for so many years. Kuretsuchi, Terracotta, take them down. Wait for Tsuchikage, the 3rd generation, it's not that simple for us. Yakushi Kabuto raised Kabuto's hat with a wicked smile. I already knew that you were in ambush here, why would you not leave behind? As a resourceful person, if you don't do more preparations, Kibu is no different from a reckless man. Quote. What do you mean? I mean, it's time for us to say goodbye. The body that melted like a liquid fell to the sea, and 2 black dots in the distance flew to the horizon. There. Not good. 3rd generation Tsuchikage listened to the excited cry of the black spot, and his beard and eyebrows were all raised. Kuretsuchi, Kitu, catch up with the old man immediately. Grandpa, are we going to fight Dididada brother? Father, Deidara is very difficult to deal with. Shut up, you 2 idiots, get to know him quickly, so as not to embarrass us Iwagakure. Ono sternly squinted his old eyes. Deidara was raised by him as Tsuchikage's successor back then. I didn't expect this kid to be for some bullshit. The unreasonable Art chose to defect. Art, let you and your Art die again today. What happened to that island? Deidara stepped on the birds and looked out to sea. It's not an island, it's a big turtle, and Yutai and Kyubi, 9 tails, are on it. What's that one under there? Deidara glanced down at the dark shadow under the sea. Yakushi Kabuto smiled sensibly. That's my psychic beast, the 2nd generation version of myriad snakes. It's an experimental product that I personally developed. Inheriting the genes of the previous generation of snakes, injecting various drugs and excellent fragments of other beasts, the 2nd generation of the snakes far surpassed the 1st generation in terms of speed, size, strength and perception. Using animals as islands to move was the biggest mistake they made. Look, this is the first step I will take after inheriting the power of Lord Orochimaru, and I will take the 2nd and 3rd steps until I become the ultimate individual. First of all, we have to stop it. Please Deidara, this is a great opportunity to hunt Yutai and Kyubi, 9 tails. Really? Hunting Kyubi, 9 tails, is the task of the Itachi guy, and it seems that he has not completed it. If I can catch that kid, does it mean that I am better than him? Thinking of the man who took him away, the saboteur couldn't help but burst into a burst of shame and anger. If that's the case, get a big one. Uchiha Itachi, your unfinished mission is handed over to me. Art is a blast. Brothers and sisters are happy to read, and Union has carefully conceived a new book, ready to release it on Saturday or Sunday. It's really hard to live with Meow Meow, and it's even harder to write a book. Text Chapter 383 The King ate who was overturned when they met. What happened? The swaying crowd stumbled and fell into a rolling gourd. Liuman, who was rolling with a few women, put on clothes and ran out. Heihei168.com. Soar. This sound. Don't bite your tail, I'm a turtle, not Xuanwu. With 2 poisonous Kiba and bit Nakajima turtle's wobbly tail, and Wanshi no 2 injected all the venom enhanced by Yakushi Kabuto in his body. The big tortoise shook twice and stopped screaming, and a strong sense of numbness spread from the wound to the whole body. Turn it over for me. The clay thrown into the sea turned into a jellyfish against the turtle's left belly and exploded into pieces. Uzumaki Naruto, Yamato Tenzo, Killer Bee, Yamashiro Aoba, the unlucky bastards who just turned over fell into the big horse again. What's more terrible is that this time there is a twist. What's going on outside? Duda rolled over and stared at Venus, and the poisoned and bombed tortoise passed out. One snake, who let go of its tail, dragged its purple-black body and smashed towards the island like a bulldozer. Wherever it passed, all the rocks, trees, turf, and rivers were divided into 2 sides like an iron plow. This snake was too big, nearly half the size of the original 10,000 snakes, with elk-like horns growing on its brain. Watching the small island that he came to protect was wantonly destroyed by the enemy in front of his eyes, Onoki's anger instantly burst his trachea. Dare to be so presumptuous in front of this old man, you are seeking your own death. Not good. Hearing the familiar roar behind him, Deidara's head was suddenly cold. With Jinten particle style, when you come up. Don't try to run, Terra. What are you doing? Jinten particle style that was about to be issued was destroyed by the apprentice, and an angry Onoki blew his beard. Mobile reading is more convenient. m.heihei168.com. If you use that, the island turtle might also be killed. Master, you have to be careful. Damn it, what the hell is this big guy doing? If you don't pay attention, you just ignore the past. There are flaws. Seeing the old man Tsuchikage being hugged by the terracotta, Deidara put her hand into her arms. Feel the greatness of art, stinky old man. Detonate clay by wing bird. The bird with 2 pairs of wings fluttered in front of him, and Onoki's pupils instantly shrank to the extreme. Art is a blast. The roaring flames lit up Yuhi. Deidara looked at the figure slowly emerging in the smoke and his face sank. It's this stalker who gets in the way again. Isn't it annoying for 1010 to follow this stinky old man? Use Clay the Giants are a damn good match for my biplanet. Hey, look at that snake. Kuretsuchi floated in midair and pointed to the rampaging figure below, ignoring what happened to Deidara next to him. The old man Tsuchikage and Kitu's expressions changed. They must be led away immediately. Kurathashi, go and stop Yakushi Kabuto, and Deidara will be handed over to the old man. Smelly old man, do you still have the ability to solve me? Yoden, lava style, lime condensation. Several hand seals in both hands opened their mouths and spewed out a large piece of dust. Yakushi Kabuto stepped back and stepped out. The ground where he was standing was full of dust and mud spewed by Kuretsuchi. Stop for me. Don't try to run away from Auntie. Little girl, you can't deal with me yourself. Yakushi Kabuto crooked his neck and sneered twice, as if he didn't pay attention to Kuretsuchi at all. She can't do it herself, what about us? Swish swish 3 figures fell behind, and Kuretsuchi, who was floating in the air, was unhappy. What are you doing out here? Just leave him to me. Shancheng, Yamato, I can still meet an acquaintance. You are Yakushi Kabuto. Yugi-colored Kabuto hat, which was slowly pulled away, a familiar yet unfamiliar face was revealed. Yamashiro Aoba and Yamato Tenzo trembled in their hearts. You look like this. Ha ha ha, don't be surprised, I inherited everything from Lord Orochimaru. I am the Lord, and the Lord is me. Yamashiro, Yamato, we meet again. Where does all this nonsense come from? Kuretsuchi, who was floating in the air, hand sealed again, I'll rush him over, and you are responsible for arresting him. Sweeten, water style, water horn. Well done. Saw the 1,000 new flower water balls spewed out by Kuretsuchi at Yakushi Kabuto, but unfortunately he didn't make a sound without shouting a few words. Dodge. He can't escape. Legs fell to the ground and couldn't get out. Yakushi Kabuto pushed up his glasses in astonishment. The lime setting technique I sprayed as quick-drying cement, supplemented with sweeten, water style, to expand the area and react with it to set, so you can't escape. How about it, Auntie, right? Several crows flew over the top of his forehead, and Yamashiro Aoba coughed dryly. Yawa, be careful not to step on this water, I'll collect information from him. Deidara, you are still so weak after all these years, how can you become strong with this Kabuto to Kabuto way? Stinky old man, don't teach me a lesson there, you are so fast at your age. It's your growth rate that is too slow. The 2-day scale Onoki looked at Deidara with hatred, feeling lonely, sad, and more murderous. This old thing is killing me. Solve him with C4. No, I can't catch up. The fat mountain-like terracotta looked up at the 2 fast-flying black dots clenching the Kiva Pass. Big brother Deidara is indeed stronger than me, old man, don't hang up. Yamato, help me build the bridge. The wooden stake that was raised from the ground jumped over the cement and led to the trapped Yakushi Kabuto, and Yamashiro Aoba jumped up with a nod. Kabuto, you've fallen. Ha ha ha, you guys who don't know what to call it, do you know what it means to be depraved? It's better for you to worry about yourself first than me. Yamashiro, be careful. Suddenly, another new body shot out of his wide-open mouth. Yakushi Kabuto turned into a long snake and swept Yamashiro Aoba to the side, and rushed over along the wooden bridge that Yamato released. Get out of the way. You can't escape. His mouth to the limit, he swallowed Yamato Tenzo in one bite, and the long snake that Yakushi Kabuto transformed into ran away. Was floating in the air, panicked, stop for Auntie. Stop chasing the little girl, I already know your information, so I can make you so careless. You're taking advantage of me. Kuretsuchi's face changed. You bastard, stop, you stop your aunt. I woke up and continued, looking at it, why is it so hard to change this time, it's really broken. Text chapter 384_exaggerated old Tsuchikage. This generation should be fine, right? Onoki, the 3rd generation Tsuchikage 2-day scale, folded his hands, looked at the opposite side with murderous intent, and killed him in this move. Mobile reading is more convenient. m.heihei168.com. Deidara reached into her arms and took out a shrunken doll, and she met the eyes of the 3rd generation Tsuchikage without giving in. Don't underestimate me, let me see which is more artistic between your Jinten particle style and my explosion. C4 Garuda. Jinten particle style. Tom. The suddenly appeared coffin board clattered and closed. Tsuchikage Jinten particle style had not yet released, and Deidara disappeared. What are you doing? At this critical moment. Catch him and don't tell him to run away. Uzumaki Naruto, Liamong, Killer Bee, the fastest 3 people just popped out of their heads when they heard Kuretsuchi's cry. Catch him. Catch who? The boss of the white snake's mouth, which was close to the ground, slid past, and before the crowd could react, he rushed into the eyes of the nostrils of the snake that became the focus. With such a big guy, who cares about those little things? Who was that just now? Why are you 3 so stupid, and you don't help Auntie to stop him? Kuretsuchi glanced at the 2nd generation of Wanshi angrily, she couldn't deal with this big guy. Boss, this vicious woman is so stinky. She is the granddaughter of the old man Tsuchikage. Don't you want to be a king? A king can't have only one wife. You take her home and you'll get it. Marry her. Don't hurt me, boss. When Naruto heard Liamong's words, he jumped up 2 feet high. The rebellious killer bee lowered his head and raised his glasses, finally found the situation. Oh, there is a long snake crawling over here, like that autumn wind swept the fire. Oh yeah bang. This guy, why is this guy gone? The 10,000 snakes that suddenly disappeared scattered into the sky, causing everyone to look sideways. The old man Tsuchikage fell from the sky and raised his eyebrows. Deidara has escaped, are you here? Yakushi Kabuto caught that Mokuden, wood-style, ninja named Yamato and ran away. It's all their fault. Interesting academy. Kuritsuchi pouted and blamed Liamong and the others. Naruto was unhappy at the time. What are you talking about? Why are you blaming us? He ran away as soon as we came up, okay. It's your fault, it's your fault. You. Don't be noisy. Liamong waved his hand to look at Kumogakur Ninja Ki. Can you feel it? No, I can't feel it anymore. I don't know where to go and I can't help it. Help me, I'll go after him right away. Yamashiro Aoba shouted staggeringly when he heard the enemy's disappearance. You've done a good job, and you can solve it yourself. Grandpa. Kuritsuchi pouted and glanced at Onoki, and reluctantly went to pick up the Aoba radish. You are such an idiot. Yes, I'm an idiot, please hurry up. I didn't even chase Kyubi, Ninetales deeply, but took that ninja named Yamato Mokuden, wood-style, away. Is it because of your presence, or because that was his goal in the first place? But anyway, the news I can't keep it. That kid over there, how much do you guys know about the intelligence of the coalition forces? Tsuchikage-sama, Yamato-senpai is not someone who easily discloses information. He was born in the roots of Konoha and is under Kakashi-senpai. Kakashi's subordinates. Humph. Not to mention subordinates, even Kakashi's father is useless. Seeing Yamashiro Aoba's shocked and puzzled expression, the old man Tsuchikage snorted coldly. The opponent is Uchiha Madara, who has a super pupil technique. In front of those eyes, there are no secrets in the world. Is it the wrong gift? Deep in the underground cave, the masked man glanced at Yamato, who had thrown him down. Yes, but this guy is a ninja who is responsible for guarding or monitoring Kyubi, Ninetales Jinchuriki, column power, and he must have a lot of confidential information about the enemy. Besides, if he is there, I can make absolute change. Stronger. Rather than being reckless, I took a more effective approach to catching him, and was more forceful to you. Quote. Then hurry up, the vanguard has been dispatched to attract firepower, and our time is very short. I can't wait to participate in the war. With Rinnegan's human ability, he can easily obtain information, but he will die. It's settled. To make Ju stronger, he has to live, doesn't he? Yakushi Kabuto nodded. Give me some time, although it's not as good as your pupil technique, but it's also not troublesome. Poison. Madara glanced at the rope that bound Yamato's hands, which was a white snake. Able to suppress the powerful vitality of Mokuden, wood-style, Kabuto's research on Hashirama cells is very thorough. Don't look at me with those thief-proof eyes. I won't use this medicine that suppresses Hashirama's power on my body, no matter what. We are allies now. Now, when the future is not an ally, you don't have a future. How far the bastard Orochimaru has investigated me. This kid who inherits his inheritance is really difficult to deal with. What are we going to do now? Dewangba Turtle Island. Everyone felt a headache when they saw the unconscious island turtle. Leave it to the old man. Here you are. Thousands of miles above the clouds, the rainbow gust is to the south. Uzumaki Naruto is screaming back and forth. This is not true, this must not be true. Fu-kun. Brother. Stinky boy. Don't take it too seriously, we can't compare to monsters. So unbelievable, so unbelievable. Unexpectedly, Lord Tsuchikage would do such an exaggerated thing. He was flying with the entire Turtle Island. Ellipsis. Grandpa, it doesn't matter. Grandpa, wouldn't it be easier to drag in the sea? What are you doing flying so high? You are so old, and you still like to show your power so much. Junior sister, you can't do it in the sea. Kaito patted his big belly. If you are sensed by that big snake again, things will probably become more troublesome. But this old waist of mine. Dragged the big turtle with one hand and flew back to the Kumogakure hiding place. As soon as he landed, Onoki fell to the ground. He still carried the terracotta back to the headquarters of the Allied forces, and Liamong also followed after thinking about it. After meeting and greeting each other, the old man Tsuchikage explained the matter. Yao, the Kyubi Ninetails Jinchuriki column force is all right, but the Mokuden wood-style ninja who is in charge of protecting the Kyubi Ninetails Jinchuriki column force has been captured. You mean Yamato? Might Guy rushed in front of Tsuchikage with wide-eyed eyes. Ah, this is really not youthful. How can a youthful man be arrested? 2-day scale senior, are you really sure that Yamato has been arrested? Go in and talk, go in and talk. Terumi May gave Liamong a wink, and quickly turned sideways to make way. She couldn't stand staying with this precious beast for a second longer. Might Guy looked at the distant crowd with tears in his eyes, facing the sea, and uttered a beast. Ah, this is youth. Youth will endure the test. Yamato, I believe in you. This idiot. Go, go. There are still 3 chapters today, and I plan to release a new book tomorrow. Brothers and sisters, please go to watch it when you introduce it. You will not be disappointed. I miss Fatty. Hey, the volatile life is always full of surprises. Take aim. Text Chapter 385 _ Prologue to the Official War. A frontline emergency report from Gara-sama. Interesting Academy. Bring it here. After grabbing the information in the hands of the reporting ninja, several high-level executives all came close. It has been confirmed that the place where the X is drawn is the enemy's stronghold, called the Shanyu Cemetery. If you march by land, you must pass through the 3 kingdoms of Yintangshe, and immediately send an evacuation message to them. Yes. Seeing the news ninja leaving, the tall and rugged 4th generation Reikage sank. Terumi May took a look at the new forehead guard from the back. This is the finished product that was made recently. Everyone will post it if there is no problem. If you also carry the village records of the hidden villages, I am afraid it will not be conducive to unity and cooperation. Quote. Is this the forehead of the Union Army? Terumi May graciously said, it was designed by Tatsumi Mifune, the general of the Iron Country. That guy has a good head. Only 660 why is there no number? It can only be like this for the time being. Terumi May explained with an embarrassed expression, we don't have that much time to distribute by manpower, and all the people in the hidden villages have been dispersed and reorganized. At this time, it will be a waste of time to distribute by number. Will this give the enemy an opportunity to take advantage? The 4th generation Reikage took the forehead and looked at it. It is very important to know the ninja number. Although it is impossible to remember everything, there is a rule of thumb, and it is also one of the important means of identifying friends and enemies. Terumi May shook his head. We've thought about what Reikage-sama is thinking about before. But now the villages are not familiar with each other, and even if they sneak in, it's hard to find out. So the forehead guard is still used first. It's better than now. So much better. Quote. The 4th generation of Reikage thought for a while, then let it go, so that they don't have to pay it back to this village. If this battle fails, everyone doesn't have to look down on each other, and it's better to wipe their necks together. The ninja allied forces issued forehead guards, and all the ninjas changed their clothes, causing a lot of commotion. Despite the inconspicuousness of this move, it has far-reaching significance. In the past, because of the signs of each village, there was always a guard against each other. It's all right now. Once the forehead is changed, the big guys are all their own. It was issued together with the forehead guard, as well as the coalition troops. Captain appointed. Hello everyone, I'm the captain of the raid unit, Konkuro, the puppet master from Sunagakure. Ah, that's right, let such a young guy be the captain, can he? In case. Hello, I'm Shizune, the captain of the medical unit. Please take care of me. By the way, dolphins are not food. Hum. What's the matter? It doesn't matter if a woman is the captain, she's still a pig farmer, and it's not safe to see her baby face. Don't talk nonsense. I heard that she is Princess Tsunade's apprentice. Ah, is that the master's apprentice? You've worked hard this time, Aoba. I am so sorry. Captain Inoichi, I am Tianhua, and I have long admired your name. War. Is this your first time in a war? Yes. Then be careful. Our intelligence department largely determines the outcome of the battle. I'm the leader of the perception force, and you can come to me if you have any questions. Thank you for your suggestion. Okay, now is the time to watch the combat troops. They have the most people this time. The first unit, the commander of the assault unit, Tarui, the successor of the third generation of Reikage Gale style, Storm style. Second unit close combat unit Captain Lois, son of 3 generations of Tsuchikage, father of Karafushi. The third corps, Might Guy, captain of the close and mid-range combat corps, Konoha 6th Hokage. The fourth unit, the long-range combat unit captain, is concurrently served by the regiment commander Gara, Sunagakure 5th generation Kazekage. Captain of the 5th unit, the fortification unit, the general of the Iron Country, Mifune. Talui, you've already become the captain, can you stop being so sloppy? I am sorry, but I always don't look motivated. Bastard, cheer up Lao Su. Got it, Lord Reikage. It's really a headache to have my father as the captain. The little girl Kuratsuchi looked up at her father in front of her, her little head hanging down. It's reassuring to be able to fight with my daughter together. Moreover, it is more advantageous to be with her. Youth, let our youth burn. Follow the footsteps of my youth and march towards the victory of youth together. Youth is like that youth. Is this our captain? Is he really Hokage? There's going to be a war soon, so eat more. Choji, are you finished? You haven't stopped talking since morning. How much of the potato chip roast do you say you've eaten? Ino, if you don't have enough food, you won't have the strength. Shikamaru, why don't you come here? No. Hey, give my mother some energy. Although Gara is the captain of the 4th unit, but because he is still the captain of the unit, the actual captain is actually your agent. I don't want to hang up because of you dozing off. Okay Ino, I got it. Really? Why are you giving me such a troublesome job? There are so many people better than me. Boss Liamong did it, and only he will push you out. Inazuka Kiba tilted his head and glanced at Shikamaru, but then again, if you can make a name for yourself in this battle, maybe you will become the 7th candidate for Hokage. Idiot, don't take war lightly. Inazuka Kiba His mother Inazuka Kiba glared at his son angrily. Aburame Shino pushed the small sunglasses and murmured, in war, keep a low profile. The more low-key you are, the safer you will be. If you are too famous, you will be targeted. Shino, are you too timid? Shut up Inazuka Kiba, Shino is smart. Okay, you guys, don't make a fuss, we're going to set off soon, and I don't know who the enemy is. It's a troublesome war, thinking about it makes my head hurt. First, it's the re-summoned Akatsuki member. Then, it is the former Tail Orc Jinchuriki column force. Come again. It was the 5 Shadows. And other famous powerhouses. Tom raised the coffin board 3 holes one after another. Yakushi Kabuto looked at Uchiha Amadara with pride. This is my collection. Will there be a problem with so many summons at one time? Madara glanced at Wying and Jinchuriki column force. Don't worry, I have perfectly inherited Orochimaru-sama's ninjutsu, and expanded and developed it. I have absolute certainty in the use of this technique. Then go. The battle has officially begun. Brothers and sisters are happy to see, and Union continues to work hard and take aim. Text Chapter 386 _ The Hidden Backhand of the Flamboyant. Hu-kun, what shall we do? The country of snow is located in a bitter cold place. Even if they march, they will only pass by, and there is nothing to be concerned about. They should not attack. Then we just wait. Of course not. Lu Meng pressed the map with both hands and lowered his gaze. This time we want to draw grain from the fire and live a stable and happy life after the war. We must seize the initiative. Not only must we show our strength, but also to reduce our own losses. We don't care about the leading troops, and we will wait for them to pass. Give a powerful blow at a critical moment and let the world know of our existence. Quote. Do you have a plan? Liamong nodded slowly. I haven't been with you guys recently because of this. For our future, I have to spend all my energy on this. Jungji took out the sub-scroll from his arms and stuffed it into Tamari. Princess Sunagakure, who opened his eyes, was shocked. What kind of plan is this? It's so shameless and immoral. It seems like a plan written at random. There is an unbelievable silver sway everywhere, an outrageous viciousness. No matter how you look at it, this plan is how to make the enemy uncomfortable, how to make the enemy uncomfortable, and how to make the enemy sick. Vicious, and shameless. Lag back, pull sideways, and sow discord. Copying the buttocks, stabbing the flowers, breaking the door, in short, just don't make the enemy feel better. Is this what you really came up with? Liamong didn't answer, took a deep breath of cold air and closed his eyes. He is not a military genius, let alone a military commander. He can't remember all the 36 tricks. The reason why this draft plan can be designed is all because of the game. Yes, it is the game, Interstellar, Yuhi Police, Warcraft. This strategy game that has accompanied him for many years has brought infinite inspiration to Liamong. Interesting Academy's starter. Everyone who has played with him, raise their middle finger after the game to express contempt, probably because this guy's behavior is too shameless, inferior, and cheap, so many people want to beat him when they win. Tamari, this plan does not have specific operational details, only the general direction and operational thinking. You are better than me in this regard, improve it and send it to the standby troops. Can I do it? Do you want to find Gara? No, Lu Mango shook his head and refused. This time we're cheating on the whole mainland. There are too many people around your brother, and it will be difficult to deal with it if he reveals his faults. And he doesn't have the skills now. Can I do it by myself? I believe in you. The sudden weight was on her shoulders, and a cold sweat broke out on Princess Sunagakure's pretty face. Liamong pinched his brows, thinking of a good candidate, but that guy would never get involved. Nara Shikamaru, my good military advisor, you can attract artillery fire in front of you, and the boss will give you a look at the wind. Look at how good I am. Even though he is so shameless, he wants to brag about himself. Liamong's shamelessness has surpassed the level of gods. If you don't kill your lord, are we really going to participate in this operation? Haku looked at the man in the room gently as he packed his things. Kurigakure, who has not been out of the mountain for several years, silently wrapped his bandages and whispered in a knot, we can't escape, this is the fate of ninjas. Shiro, will you stay at home? You know, my lord, I can't live without you. The scroll that was gently handed in his hand slowly unfolded, and Momoji looked at the big seal and bit his thumb. Bang, and the bloodstains dragged from left to right. A giant sharp blade was revealed, and the Kurigakure ogre gripped the hilt. In an instant, the temperament that was originally calm like an ordinary fisherman changed. It was cold, cool, and like a ghost. The beheading sword, I never thought that I would still use it for you in this life. Sir, I'm back again. Yeah, it's back. If possible, I'd never want to go back to that. Renmara, you must stay at home this time. Kiba, if you die, I don't exist, take me with you. The boy with Yuhi's eyes stood firmly beside him, and raised the two knives in his hand to his chest. I have never forgotten to practice in the past few years, just to prepare for this day. Brother Kiba, Renmara can already help you. Quote. Mom, Aang. Sha Xing, who was already middle-aged, stroked his son's handsome face. This time you have to be careful. When you go to the battlefield, your mother may not take care of you. I've grown up, Aang said to his mother with a firm look. This time it's my turn to protect you. Silly boy, Beto is still waiting for you to come back. Mommy is old. Don't say such unlucky words, okay? Aang raised his hand to cover Sha Xing's gentle lips. Okay, we both have to come back safely. Deep in the royal palace of the snow country, Kazuhana Koyuki gently caressed her lower abdomen. It's been 3 months, my friend, you know, you are already a father. Your Majesty Koyuki. I will inform you that no one may disobey the order of the general. Santeifu, this war is different from the past. Anyone who is behind will kill me. I grant you the right to kill first and then file. I see, Your Majesty. War again. Kazuhana Koyuki caressed her belly lightly and looked out the window, recalling the past in a trance. She hadn't grown up at that time, she was still a child at that time. Father, did you see that Koyuki has grown up and has children of his own? For him, this war must be won. Remember, the airstrikes run after dropping the bomb. Your job is to fly over, open the scroll, and retreat. Don't fight, let alone pursue. It has nothing to do with you whether there are dead people or how many people die. We will escort you in the rear with aircraft, understand? Understood. Go, your number is Shuiyan Air Raid Brigade, for our glory. To help the Lord. With a single wave of his hand, he released the airstrike formation, and the commander standing on the stage set his sights on Zabuza again. The ground surprise troops carried out harassing attacks based on the principle of attacking if they could, and retreating if they couldn't. You don't need to fight the enemy head-on, or even fight alone. We have copied the sample of the forehead guard sent by the boss Liamong. Everyone's task is to pick up bargains when the coalition forces and the enemy go to war. Hit a sap, make a black hand, throw a detonating talisman, throw a kunai, and escape 1,000 miles without a single blow. Do you understand? Clear. For glory. To help the Lord. Set off. There is one more chapter. A new book will be published tomorrow. I hope everyone will join in, please, aim. Text chapter 387_ Is that guy really stupid? The enemy forces have moved, and the number is quite staggering. Baidu Interesting Academy, shouted the Hyuga tribe who opened the Byakugan observation. Commander raised his eyes when he heard the words, you all retreat, go back and meet with the main force to explain the intelligence here, I will stay here to continue monitoring. It's too dangerous for you to be alone. Okay, get out. Not long after the silhouette shot out of the swish-swish, there was a terrifying figure in the opposite forest. Ban Fei's face was black and white, and he didn't look like an ordinary person. In fact, these are indeed not normal people. Kurigakure has 7 knives, and only 6 of us are summoned. What about the owner of the beheading sword? Akabe no Jinin tilted his head with a hatchet and a hammer. When I died, a kid named Zaibujin took over. That guy killed all the students at the same time. I heard that he later defected. Ha ha ha. Munashi Jinpachi glared at One Eye and laughed dryly 3 times. Our Kurigakure is really the cradle of missing nin, and the whole ninja world seems to be the most defected from our village. It just proves that we are strong, doesn't it? Kuriarer Kushimaru held a long knife and tightened the steel wire. Killing and being killed are attitudes, and killing is not fun as life. You lunatics. Crazy, ha ha ha, not all people who come out of Kurigakure are crazy. A man wearing a Kumogakure forehead looked around and said, this is forbidden technique impure world reincarnation, a ninjutsu invented by the 2nd generation Hokage. That is to say, we are going to fight next. It's really annoying to even use dead people. Have you two said enough? We, the 7 of us, don't care about impure world reincarnation or impure world reincarnation, we just want to know if it's fun to kill. Interesting Academy debuts. The entrance of the underground cave, Yakushi Kabuto looked at the distant support troops and turned his attention to his side. You guys is a surprise squad, Sasori and Deidara are in charge of bombing and trapping, Nakayoshi and Kurigakure and Root in Konoha are in charge of perception and support. What is this? The roots that have just been resurrected are very strange. Nakayoshi from Kurigakure village responded quickly enough, but before he could attack, Yakushi Kabuto used a spell to suppress his soul. Sasori and Deidara, who had also recovered, opened their eyes together. To be used by such a soft-footed shrimp, it seems that Akatsuki has really fallen. Huh, Sasori-san, this guy really makes me uncomfortable. Akatsuki is now only my former sidekick and Jew, and this guy actually calls himself Uchiha Madara, don't you think it's funny? It has nothing to do with me whether he is Uchiha Madara or the Six Paths Immortal. If it is you, if you dare to speak to me in such a tone, I will kill you. Please, we're already dead, okay. Deidara looked at Sasori extremely speechlessly. It's hard to hold on to eternal beauty, and in the end, you're the one who hung up, don't be so aggressive. Besides, it's so obvious. The fatal point is on the chest, which is too. Is it really okay for them to do this? Madara asked, looking at the two arguing. Yakushi Kabuto pushed his glasses. Pure World Reincarnation has so many people, it's not easy to control for a while. Right now I have to concentrate on controlling their movement, but it's fine later. When it comes to battle, I will suppress their personalities with spells. Let them be completely reduced to murder tools. At this point, you don't need to worry about it. Of course, sometimes retaining their personalities will work wonders, and facing acquaintances, even ninjas are not easy to start. What a shameless ninjutsu. Ha ha ha, I like this comment. Yakushi Kabuto laughed twice, not ashamed but proud, and smiled very happily. Only incompetent people depreciate the achievements of others, which is envy and jealousy. Madara, we'll call you, Madara, for the time being, what can you do with your power? Kabuto had on his partner how done with contempt, and Yakushi Kabuto turned around and walked back into the depths of the cave. It's too dazzling for you to call 100,000 white zetsu to start together from the ground. Even if my collection is contained on the ground, it will definitely be caught. The enemy found. Don't worry, I never really thought about hiding, you just need to control your dead people. Asuma. Break. And that one is Hiyashi. What's going on? No, shouldn't we all be dead? This is a forbidden technique that treats the living as a Matsuri product and brings the dead back to their souls. Broken Knuckles Branch said. What the hell happened? Hyuga Hiyashi squinted his eyes with a swastika on the top of his forehead. Asuma struggled twice and realized that something was wrong. The body is being controlled, and I have an ominous hunch. The Land of Thunder, the Kumogakure surprise attack force. Omoi dipped his head with a lollipop, looked at the clouds in a pessimistic manner and started dumbfounded. I really didn't expect to participate in such a big war. If 10,000 people are suddenly attacked by the enemy and only themselves are left, they will definitely be caught by the enemy and ask for information, and then brainwash them to deal with the village and Lord Hokage. This sucks. Omoi, do you hear? Start descending. Don't get distracted in enemy airspace. Then can I ask a question? Kankuro was taken aback. Captain, you're about the same age as me, and it's probably the first time you've participated in such a big war, right? You're not nervous at all. Omoi's throat twitched twice, and even the lollipop in his mouth didn't feel sweet. Kankuro, who was controlling Asuka's descent, looked back at him and said, the success of the surprise attack force is related to the success or failure of the entire battle and the loss of the coalition forces. If you want to protect your family and friends, then think carefully about how to win. You and I are the only survivor of the last action. The idiot of the Aburame family actually went behind my back to stop the enemy. Don't be as stupid as her this time. Captain, is that bug guy really stupid? I don't know. Kanjiro looked back with a complicated expression, and the corners of his eyes overflowed with a little sparkle. To use the power of one person to use the family forbidden technique to drag down the enemy's 5 people, that idiot is too stupid, and he doesn't even know the name. Maybe I should investigate this time when I go back alive, and I can't let her die in vain. In other words, she must be a woman. The Tsunogaku puppet master was very uncertain about flipping through his memory, and in the end he couldn't determine the gender. The only impression left is the clothes covering the whole body and the sunglasses on the bridge of the nose. Is this the home of ninjas? I don't want to leave a trace behind when I die. I don't want that. I don't want to die. Then let the enemy die. Captain, spot the enemy at 2 o'clock. The raiding force follows orders and descends. Yes. The cloud went to bed and went to sleep. The brothers and sisters were happy. Text chapter 388 _ I won't go with you. Mr. Tang Jiguo, the enemy army will pass through your country this time. For your safety, please retreat. Interesting academy. So, how are we going to evacuate, and where are we going? Tang Jiguo stroked his beard and looked very flustered, and the ministers standing behind were all like birds. That's Uchiha Madara. It's just like the Afghan refugees who heard that the United States was going to throw the source bullet. There's no reason not to be afraid. The ninja sent by the coalition forces explained in a low voice, go south along your country and enter the Konoha hideout, and the north is likely to become a battlefield. Is our country going to become a battlefield again? Tang Jiguo shook his head helplessly and sadly, but he didn't ask a swear word in his mouth. Why don't you choose Kumogakure to be the battlefield? You know how to bully our small countries. How many times, every time there is a big war, we will be reduced to a war zone, a place where you compete with each other. How much is the country, people, houses, buildings, destroyed by a war? In the past, 2 countries were enough to kill people, but this time it was a war across the continent. Will the country still exist after this war? Tang Jiguo Daimyo stood there full of worries, as if countless big stones were pressed on his heart. At the same time, Tien Jiguo Daimyo also sat in the sedan chair. His gray beard was full of folds, and there would still be 2 lice in his hair. How long will it take to arrive? Sir, don't be in a hurry, please be patient for a while. Bastard, I'm not a ninja, how can you tell me to endure? The capital of the snow country, Kazuhana Koyuki looked at the ninja standing below and bluntly chose to refuse. I will not choose to retreat, you don't have to say it. Your Majesty Koyuki, please think again, this is the evacuation order issued by the coalition base camp. For your safety, please also. Every messenger, our country is located on a plateau, which is different from the land of the land and the land of the land that you just said. Moreover, later, His Majesty will enter the refuge to hide, which is a place that only the previous kings and dynasties of the country know about. Akatsuki won't get it, even the old man. So you don't have to worry. Nidafu-sama, your confidence is very admirable, but we must be more careful when facing Uchiha Madara. Your Majesty Koyuki, I sincerely hope that you will act with us. No need to say any more. The black shadow that suddenly appeared surrounded Kazuhana Koyuki and formed a swastika guard. The ninja standing in front said coldly, everyone please come back, the safety of our country's lord is naturally up to me. Guard. 4 Jonin. The allied army messenger glanced at the 4 people who suddenly appeared, and their face and eyelids were all drawn together. Where did the snow country come from so many advanced ninjas? Jonin is not a street cabbage, a ninja of this level. Even in the hidden villages of the 5 major countries, there are not many, pulling their fingers. That's about 180. Note that this does not mean 180 per village, but a total of several 180. Even if all those hidden family owners, retired veterans, and powerhouses who escaped from the world were all drawn, they would be able to double this number. The big countries are still like this, let alone the small ones. Many small country ninja leaders themselves are Jonin, and some are even inferior to Jonin. For example, this time, Xingyan village sent an elite Chunin to recharge due to some calamity. One can imagine how valuable Jonin is. With such 4 masters under personal protection, naturally there is no need for others to intervene. Seeing the messenger sent by the coalition forces to get out, Kazuhana Koyuki slowly raised the corner of his mouth, and Santeifu hurriedly reminded, Your Majesty Koyuki, the enemy is strong, it is better to retreat as soon as possible. I know, I will leave now. For the sake of this child, I will not be in danger. Santefu, I will leave everything in the country to you. The old minister will never give up. Kazuhana Koyuki took a deep look at Mitafu and sighed, I wish you would survive. The battlefield stretched forward, hundreds of meters above the ground, and Deidara drove away the bugs in annoyance. It's really annoying little things. You can't finish it, and you can't finish it. It's annoying. Get out of here. Fighting with a bunch of bugs, Deidara, when will you grow up? I'm very young, Uncle Sasori, please take a look at yourself when talking about others, okay? 2. Zanji called while sitting on another flying bird. These insects interfere with my chakra perception. This is insect interference. I thought about it for a long time, the Konoha Aburame family, right, and only they are so disgusting. Deidara slapped 2 more flies to death in anger. Sasori looked at him from the side, I have studied the history of various countries, and the first Hokage of your Iwagakure village is also a master of deworming, but for some reason, this line of inheritance has not been passed down. Because we don't need it. Deidara shook his head in admiration and loss. The second generation Tsuchikage is the third generation chakra, and he is the owner of the blood, and he also invented Jinten particle style naturally. There is no need for that kind of thing. And how can ordinary ninjas learn it, and there is no one master in the chaos of war. Although there are still scrolls in the village, the bugs have already died. Quote. Is the second generation Tsuchikage very beneficial? Zanji turned his head curiously. Although he was controlled by impure world reincarnation, his mind was still there, and he was naturally very curious about the second generation Tsuchikage who perished with the second generation Mizukage. Deidara was a little silent. According to the old man, the second generation Tsuchikage was wrapped in bandages for many years, leaving only 2 eyes to see people. He's hurt. It's not the reason for the injury, it's for the convenience of hiding. Deidara exhaled a sullen breath while looking ahead. That guy is called Wu, even you perceptive ninjas want to find him. The second generation Tsuchikage is a real assassination technique master. To the place. Kankuro looked around with both feet on the ground, and before all his companions had landed, he issued an order. The enemy will arrive soon. Immediately set up jet lag bombs and surprise traps, with a radius of 10 meters, at 2 o'clock and 10 o'clock. Set the entrance and exit in the direction of the bell. Konoha's attention alert. Taian's digging trenches. Kurigakure's responsible perception. Omoi, you bring the rest to lay the detonator, and I will do the chakra line alert myself. Is there anything else you don't understand? Looking left and right, no one shook his head. Kankuro ordered in a deep voice, action. The new book is expected to be released in the afternoon or evening, and the specific time will be updated later. Brothers and sisters are happy to read it. It will be better if you can collect it at that time. Text Chapter 389 _ Reward for Surviving. Slowly, Lin Feng blew across the green leaves of the rustling, and hid the cat that pricked up its ears on the ground. The dug underground cave of the interesting academy is completely enclosed, with only 2 ventilation holes opened in the hidden place. There are I-men of the Hyuga clan, so observing the enemy is not a problem at all. The older Iwagakure looked around and lowered his voice and said, Captain, everyone, you are very young, and many of you are participating in the war for the first time. Originally, I shouldn't have said much with my strength, but after all, my age is here. And participated in 3 wars. So, everyone, please be careful. Quote. Uncle, if you have anything to say, feel free to say it. Kankuro turned his head in the dark and said, each unit has a veteran like you, just to remind us. Although I am the captain, there is something wrong. I would like to ask you to bring it up, and everything is based on tasks. Quote. You are great. Uncle Iwagakure couldn't help raising a thumb when he heard such sensible words. I'm just a little older than you, and my strength is average, unlike many of you who are elites, and my future achievements are not mine. It can be compared. However, if I survive the Third World War, it is not a useless guy. The younger generation, listen carefully. If you want to survive the war, the most important thing is to be careful in everything. The enemy is coming. The Hyuga team member who opened Byakugan whispered, and the Kurigakure perception ninja was very strange. What did you see? Why am I not responding here? It's the one who played with bugs in the assault team before. It should be bug interference. What is her? Tang Tang stood up twice. Kinkalong Omoiki's heart trembled. Didn't she die using the forbidden technique? I'll take a look. Iwagakure, who had just finished talking about be careful, was dumbfounded, and rumbling in his heart, he ran past tens of thousands of grass and mud horses. I know that young people are unreliable, and the young Kumogakure is even more unreliable. Quickly withdraw, this place is exposed. Mobile phone reading is more convenient. m.heihei168.com. One person is impulsive, and the big guy is finished. As soon as Kankuro got out of the hole, he saw his former teammate with flying hair. Compared with the appearance of his long hair hidden in a kabuto hat at first, his expression is undoubtedly more attractive now. She is a woman. The doubts in Sunagakure's puppet master's mind were found to be wrong again. That posture. Oh moi, rewind. The five-finger chakra line was thrown forward to tie his hands and feet, and Kankuro felt a chill in his heart. So bold. Uncle Iwagakure quickly formed fingerprints with both hands, and the eyed man of the Hyuga tribe also noticed the abnormality. Be careful of the bug pot behind her. It is not a bug, but a white cloud with a strong chakra reaction. Rewind, that's Deidara, S-bomb. Doden, Earth style, Earth flow wall. Been discovered. However, something like this can't stop me. Art is a blast. The small insects that broke out of the ground exploded continuously, and the surprise attack troops that suddenly brightened in front of them covered their faces and closed their eyes. Are you done? These things. Give me back. Doden, Earth style wall. Iwagakure, who was able to save everyone with his own power in a crisis, put his hands down while breathing heavily. But before the big guy woke up from the tremor of the explosion, another dark shadow appeared above his head. New raiders. Omoi held the handle of the knife with a lollipop in his mouth, and there was no shadow of his previous companions in the afterglow of his eyes. Is this war, and there is no time for sadness? Hateful. I don't want to die just like that. Anyhow. Let's fight. Yunliu 3 Sun and Moon slash. The moon marks drawn by Ping 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 knocked all the shuriken that came into the air. At the same time as Omoi started, the helpers sent by the Konoha elders also jumped into the air. Stamping, scratching the head, bending the neck, sharp means and merciless style, worthy of the people who came out there. Kankuro glanced around and shouted, everyone, be careful, these guys don't have such an easy solution, prepare a seal cloth. Understood, Captain, I'll be fine right away. The unrolled scroll blew 2 white smoke, and Kurigakure, who was standing at the back, took out the equipment specially designed to deal with impure world reincarnation. Kankuro looked at the trees on the left with a dignified expression. Sasori, don't hide anymore, I know you're there, the way you moved just now, only people like us can do it. Ah, Uncle Sasori, it looks like we've been discovered. I didn't expect that there will be your companion here. He can't be your son, right? He looks so ugly. Deidara. Looking at the golden retriever whose mouth was full of feces, fine beads of sweat fell on Uncle Iwagakure's face. Maybe this guy is not very famous in Besan, but he is a part of Akatsuki, who has done ruthless things to loot Kazekage. But in the village of Iwagakure, even a 3-year-old knows his splendid deeds. A statue equivalent to the Konoha Hokage rock, which has been smashed by him more than once with a bomb. Art is a blast. In those horrific memories, Iwagakure had old people with heart attacks every day, as well as new ones. Everywhere Deidara has gone, is a word, bang. Boom, bang bang bang. The statues that symbolize the Tsuchikage of the past, bombed the office of the contemporary Tsuchikage, attacked the bathhouse, raided the bathroom, and even the public toilet became his test for planting the bomb. Everyone had to worry about the toilet last time, and no one knew if their butt would suddenly blow up and get a stench that couldn't be washed off. In the end, the big guy was helpless, and the whole village worked together to complain to Lord Leanly, and only then drove this scourge out of the village to live alone, thinking that he would be more stable when he grew up, but he did not think that this girl actually defected. Now that we meet again, in the eyes of Uncle Iwagakure, it is not to mention how complicated it is. I seem to know you. Who are you? Jonji, Changping Jonji. Yo, you're that slug's dad, aren't you? What, are the fireworks I gave your son beautiful? Deidara, I'll never forgive you for what you did, let's have a smack between us today. Ha ha ha, it's just you. The bomb maniac is here to catch up with Iwagakure, and Kankuro is also looking at Sasori. You are also a surprise force, it's really rare, two surprise forces actually collided. Junior, seeing that you're still alive makes this old man really puzzled. Even though he didn't look very old-fashioned, Sasori of the Red Sand stared at Kankuro with a crooked head. Can lead the war. As a reminder to reward you for surviving, let me tell you something, we are not the only ones sent by our side. Quote. What? The new book is tentatively scheduled to be released at 7 p.m., and it is updated regularly every day, and the cloud is processing it. Text Chapter 390-Unforgivable Sin. Kankuro looked at Sasori of the Red Sand in shock and was frightened by the news he revealed. Interesting academy. Still there. Captain, don't be distracted. Uncle Iwagakure saw that Kankuro's expression was wrong, and quickly reminded him, we have to trust the other troops, and the first thing is to solve them first. Ha ha ha. Fix us. Trash fish, who gave you the confidence? Deidara, even if I don't take this life, I will avenge you. We will win this battle. You won, and you are not afraid to swallow your big words. We will never lose, because we are immortal. Chakra is infinite and not afraid of attack. Deidara's voice fell, and the root resurrection who had previously twisted his neck climbed up. Familiar way of folding the neck, brother, is that you? Elder brother. Elder, 907, regiment were dumbfounded, and Kanjiro and the others followed. Brother, do you think this guy is your brother? Run away, brother, you know what you have done to me just now, the body I have now is not something you can defeat. No, it can't be. That guy Danzo is dead, we're free, we're free. Calm down. Kankuro held down his gaff teammate. What do you know? The former root ninja who had taken refuge in the elders cried and knelt to the ground, unable to lift the short knife in his hand. The root assessment is to exterminate human nature, and the final battle is cannibalism. Brother, will my brother come to accompany you? Go away, what are you talking about? You know, brother, since that day, I couldn't sleep night after night. When I closed my eyes, you fell in front of me. I thought that Danzo was dead, and I could be freed. But I can't forget it. Ah, kill me, just as I killed you. Brother, I'm sorry. A smear of blood smeared across his neck, the ninja at the root clucked twice and stopped moving, and the weird smile before his death made his heart shiver. The resurrection of impure world reincarnation was stunned, looking at the ground in disbelief, at the younger brother who fell in a pool of blood. They have no blood relationship, and the reason why they are brothers is also a root arrangement. However, people are not grass and trees, they are skilled and ruthless, they have taken care of each other for more than 10 years, and they have already kissed more than brothers. When faced with the final decision, the elder brother used his life to continue the future for the younger brother. Now, the younger brother used his life to end everything. What is all this for? Kankuro. Omoi. Iwagakure, Kurigakure, all lowered their heads, and even Deidara and Sasori chose to shut up in this weird atmosphere. The rustling linfeng blew, and a ninja knife was slowly pulled out, and the sound of metal friction broke the dullness. I will never forgive brothers for each other. I will kill you and bury you together. Stop talking pretty. Deidara glanced at the dead body on the ground, and then at the team members. This is war, do you understand war? I don't know what war is, and I have never participated in a war. But I know that brotherhood is higher than the sky, and you who dare to play with brotherhood must be punished. Ha, boy, who do you think you are? God. I'm Kumogakure Killerby Jinchuriki, Column Force, the disciple of Lord Killerby, Omoi. Yunliu Fujuan. Deidara glanced at the thing and twitched its mouth twice as she swiped the blade with one hand and ignited a thunderous light. The most annoying thing is you guys who play Raiden, Thunder style. Big Brother Sasori. With 2 hands and 5 fingers gently rhythm, Sasori of the Red Sand directly turned him into a puppet and blocked in front of Deidara. After a few sword cuts, he lost his head, but he recovered immediately. The big talker is doing a good job, but it's useless to cut it as much as you want. Yunliu Li Zan turn around. What seems to be forward is actually backwards, slashing and brushing across the open space, and Sasori of the Red Sand, who is at a high place, is stunned. It's now. Seeing the success of the battle plan, Kankuro yanked his hands down and pulled Sasori, who was stunned, to the ground. Block him. Doten, Earth-style, earthquake. It's useless. Mid-air, 2 turns and landed, Sasori of the Red Sand looked at Kankuro. Connect your chakra line to mine and pull me down. It seems that you have improved a lot. No matter how hard you try, I still can't catch you, but it's an honor to be praised by the performers of the red secret skills. But now, I am afraid that my black secret skills are even better. Sasori of the Red Sand. Brush and pull the unrolled scroll. A large Sasori word is printed in the center. Sasori, who saw this thing, smiled, with a very contemptuous smile. Is it my puppet body in the past? What's the point of you taking him out? I have obtained the immortal body that I have longed for, and become a real body. Puppet. Captain, be careful, they all have bombs in them. What? Sasori of the Red Sand in great astonishment, Kankuro's forehead sweated. Deidara, whose secret trick was called broken, laughed, with a wanton smile. Be careful, the miscellaneous fish, you will be bombed to death if you get close. Damn, you are unforgivable, you actually buried a bomb in your companion's body. Fool, don't you know that we are immortal? I'm sorry, Sasori, it seems that my brilliance is more artistic. Art is a blast. The rumbling body picked up pieces of rubble and threw it flying, and the surprised troops instantly collapsed far away, and several people were injured lightly or severely. This lunatic. The body of the bomb, the dirt that flew up with the hulula, was intact. Sasori of the Red Sand glanced back at his former teammate. Don't ruin my art with your disgusting thing, or I'll kill you first. Uncle Sasori, you want to kill me. It's really scary, but can you do it? It is also a puppet manipulated by others. There is no reason why anyone is afraid of whom. Come on, art is a blast. Sasori of the Red Sand vs. Kankuro. Deodorov's Omoi. Rest of the raiding force was just about to come up to help, but was bombed back by the Kurigakure resurrection. Run away. Seeing his brother's tragic death with his own eyes, he was used as a puppet to swing a knife around. Uncle Iwagakure stood in the back and sighed. I have heard about the roots of Konoha. It is a habit of this organization to let 2 people who grew up together like brothers finally fight for life and death to achieve the goal of erasing murderous feelings and eliminating confusion. Practice. Anyway, kill him, let him live, is the greatest sorrow for him. It is an unforgivable sin to use this method to achieve a strong mind. I swear by this sword, I will give you liberation. Omoi. The new book, Second Elements Without Conscience, has been released. Brothers and sisters, go and see, the cloud has improved. Text chapter 391_say it and do it, my name is Omoi. Cut, I hate those who have no ability but like to talk big. Baidu Interesting Academy. Go to hell. Art is a blast. By Sasori became the ignited gunpowder again. Seeing that something was wrong, Kankuro quickly pressed down the middle finger of his right hand and wrapped the enemy with the puppet that had been hidden in advance. Black secret skills mountain pepper fish. Boom. Nasty puppet doll that makes my art have no power at all. That was my work from a long time ago, and the defense is really good. A long time ago, Deidara said. Brother Sasori, are you looking down on me? Only what is eternal is art. Sasori of the Red Sand gave him a sideways look. This kid is my prey, you go and deal with others. Come on, people who have already died are still clinging to your art. What is eternal? Explosion is the truth. The little spiders, the little Sasori, and the little toads crawling out of the ground, all of them white and plump, were very gratifying, and they rushed to the surprise troops. Iwagakure, who saw these guys, hurriedly shouted, "Get out of the way, don't let them get close. Dodge. Are you hiding? Ants, spiders, centipedes, long legs, long horns, shoulders, thorns." Deidara was having a party like a zoo expert. The raiding force is in big trouble. Faced with these short and elusive little guys who exploded on their bodies when they didn't pay attention, everyone tightened their minds. But it didn't work. No use at all. In the sky, on the ground, in front of and behind, there are all these little things. Changji. Up a lot of flesh and blood. Uncle Iwagakure's eyes turned black and he fell out. In front of him, several milky white centipedes emerged from the ground. Heihei168.com. Art is. Bring me back. The 3 chakra lines connected the hands, feet and shoulders and pulled back hard, and Uncle Iwagakure, who was able to escape the explosion, squirted out a mouthful of fresh yuhi. Tong, treat Uncle, Omoi follow me. Got it, Captain. The sharp ninja sword slashed head-on with the thunder sword, and Sasori of the Red Sand stared at Kankuro with a gloomy expression. How dare you be distracted while fighting with me? Is it better to say that you are arrogant or ignorant? Kill him. The 10 fingers fluttered up and down like a dance, and every time they flicked their fingers, the human puppet would make a strange attack. Sasori, the scarlet gravel who didn't need to think about damage at all, gave Kankuro a good lesson and let him understand what the power of a puppet master is. Slashing in all directions, a ninja sword seemed to become infinity under the control of Sasori. Even without the puppet doll in hand, Sasori of the Red Sand is still Sasori of the Red Sand. Art is a blast. Drink. The clay that suddenly detonated knocked Sasori's body into the air, and Kankuro, who opened the empty door, broke out in cold sweat. Strange things happened. The resurrected Sasori of the Red Sand didn't take advantage of the sneak attack, but glared at his companions viciously. I said, don't hinder me again, Deidara, you are courting death. Ha, big brother Sasori, don't be so cold, don't you think that's good? As long as the soul is still bound in this world, we can be resurrected infinitely, and I can use him as a bomb infinitely. Shut up, I don't need you in my battle. The 10 chakra strands connected to the volley again. Kankuro looked at Sasori of the Red Sand left and Deidara right, his eyes lit up. Maybe it can be done. Omoi, Project 3. The staggered figures smashed the clay worms drilled out of the ground again, and the charged ninja sword became the best defense for everyone. Seeing that the seeds he had finally sown were shattered again and again, the bomb maniac roared and opened his hands. You will pay for what you do. Detonating clay by Wing Bird. Blast clay owl. Detonate clay C2 dragon beast. 3 big bombs in a row. Deidara grinned and waved her arms. Blow them up. The rumbling sound caused countless sand and gravel splashes, and the original ambush locations were all turned into fly ash. Quick, this is the time. Deidara's madness caused a big explosion, and Kankuro, who almost died, ran out of the cave where he was hiding when the sound stopped outside. Prepare the sealing cloth. First seal the Sasori inside. I found it. The half-crippled body slowly recovered in the filth. Sasori of the Red Sand looked at the surprise troops that rushed towards him and scolded an idiot. Quick, seal him up. The recovered left hand flicked twice to overturn the figure, and Sasori's body flew out diagonally. Unexpectedly, just halfway through the flight, a black shadow fell from the sky into his belly. You can't run away. Puppet doll Black Ant. The monster with the head of a wooden donkey raised its round belly and folded it, and the newly summoned crow came in torn apart. Elbows, knees, wrists, head, sharp long knives popped out from every part. 3 machines, the end of the play. Damn. Seeing Sasori being put into a puppet, Deidara scolded fiercely, not thinking it was her fault at all. Sure enough, my art is the best. Next, let me solve them all in one fell swoop with my art. Without big brother Sasori getting in the way, the ultimate art is not bad. Although it is a waste to activate the ultimate art every time, but there is no other way. Who makes these teammates so idiots? Come on, let you feel the most brilliant, splendid and gorgeous art performance in the world. Art is explosion. See. Pulling off the robe to reveal the mouth with the chest feels wrong behind you. Omoi stared at Deidara who was looking back. Although I don't know what you want to do, it's better to let you end here. When did you come up? Yunliu 3 suns and moons. The first one slashed the head, the second one broke the waist, and the third one was torn apart. Deidara, who only had a brain, laughed and fell to the bird. You can't kill me, I still have a chance. You have no chance. Another black ant opened its belly, and the chakra line of nothingness pulled all the stumps into the darkness. The Omoi hilt reversed and fell from the sky, stabbing the ninja knife with the thunder chakra into the puppet's chest. As I said, you must be judged. The new book, Second Elements Without Conscience, has been released. After the experience of the gangster book and the dark losses that Fatty's book has eaten, Union has grown a lot. This book looks good, brothers and sisters, take a look at it when you have time. Unlimited flow since the 3 wars, please support, please collect. Text Chapter 392 _ The Vanguard has landed. The enemy sealed by the 2 black ants was thrown on the ground. Without Sasori and Deidara, the remaining 2 were undoubtedly much simpler. In fact, they did not cause any trouble, and the 2 ceiling cloths solved it. The battle was over, but it did not bring any joy of victory, and the hearts of the big guys were very heavy. Omoi put away his ninja sword and helped his comrade who committed suicide. This is a guy with a low sense of presence. If I had to find someone to compare, I would be the same as him, the members of the Aburame family who died earlier. They don't like to talk, they like to keep silent, and they don't know their names until they die. Take them back and bury them together. Konkuro raised his eyes, looking at the sky with extremely complicated eyes. Iwagakure, who was severely injured, came over and patted him on the shoulder. Look, this is war, and the living still need you to lead. Thank you, Konkuro nodded sincerely, turned around and walked towards the black ants that sealed Sasori, and said goodbye with the unique etiquette among puppet masters. Sasori of the Red Sand, your strength comes from your soul. You once thought trying to erase it and become a puppet didn't work. I understand that's because you put all your soul into the puppets you created, and that's what makes them immortal. Sasori of the Red Sand was stunned. Although you have got your original body now, your soul has fallen. The fallen is the same as the puppet you used. You should have become the most powerful puppet master, not a puppet in the hands of others. The puppet doll exists because of the puppet master. Losing the puppet master, no matter how powerful the puppet doll is, it can only be a puppet doll. The real power is us as puppet masters. Quote. By now. The strongest ever. Once the puppet master is manipulated, it's over. Whether it's you or the guy who manipulates you, I won't lose even if you compete for will. As a real puppet master, it is even more true if you manipulate the same Sasori. Your technology and the puppet you create are immortal, and the puppet doll that hosts the soul will be passed down from generation to generation through the hands of future generations. This is the puppet master. Eternal. Brother Sasori, don't listen to his nonsense. Art is a moment of brilliance, and art is an explosion. Mobile reading is more convenient. m.heihei168.com. We're after something different, Deidara, maybe this junior is right. Konkuro. I entrust you with the scrolls of father and mother, and when death comes, you shall pass them on to the next generation. Hey, big brother Sasori, you're crazy, what crazy words are you talking about? Let me out and kill them. Big Brother Sasori. Sasori. The filthy soil of Shasha broke away from the surface of the body and turned into dust and mud, and the Sasori of the red sand was no longer in the belly of the opened black ant. In exchange, it was an unknown corpse. This is a living Matsuri product. What's going on? Isn't impure world reincarnation the so-called immortality art? Did Yakushi Kabuto unlock him? Not necessarily. Sasori is gone, but this annoying guy is still there. Let me out, bastards, let me out, you blasphemers of art. I'm going to kill you all, I'm going to kill you all. Why the hell is this? Kurigakure Ninja looked left at this, right at that. Kankuro took a deep breath. It should be the flaw of impure world reincarnation. It seems that there is no absolutely perfect ninjutsu in the world, and the human soul is not so easily restrained. What shall we do next? Go back? No, the battle has just begun. Sasori said just now that they are just one of the group, so we have to carry on the surprise attack. Big guys prepare. Understood. Yes. Captain, we all listen to you. Deidara and Sasori failed. Yakushi Kabuto squatted on the ground and raised his eyes slightly. Go to the battlefield ahead, then I will concentrate on preparing for invisibility. Those two guys will also fail. Madara asked in disbelief. Just now, he went out for inspection, but he found a lot of problems. Yakushi Kabuto pushed his glasses and explained, I met a great junior, but they don't have much fighting power. Snort. Do your business well, and don't let me know what cleverness you are playing. Carrying a fan that symbolizes the glory of the Uchiha family, he rushed to the battlefield, and as soon as Uchiha Madara left, Yakushi Kabuto laughed. Hearing the laughter coming from behind, Madara's eyes flashed a ferocious look. Do you want to make us lose both sides of the fight and then jump out to get a bargain? Think of the beauty, you are the real chess piece. 500 meters ahead, the movement of the enemy army is detected. Report to Mr. Gara Mifune quickly. Squad 8 will come with me and join forces with Doden, Earth style. Report. There is news from the front that a large number of enemies are approaching from the ground and have reached the periphery of the mound. Mark it on the map. The map of the enemy's actions drawn with a fresh Yuhi brush was circled, and Gara Mifune lowered his gaze. The follow-up reinforcements have arrived. The seaside is handed over to the first army led by Tarui, the second army is moving closer to the mountains, and the third army is slightly lower. In this way, the fourth army led by you and the fifth army led by me can be deployed on the center line, and it is also convenient for the second and third troops to dispatch small-scale manpower support at any time. Do you have any questions about Kazekage-sama? Quote. No, you are an expert in this. Then act. Soon after the letter Eagle, which flew into the air, set off, the troops who received the order rushed to the designated location. Kiba, Shino, it's coming so fast. Hyuga Neji looked back and greeted the two guys who didn't deal with it. At this time, any personal grudges had to be put down. That Neji's expression was wrong. Inuzuka Kiba didn't have a good face, and said in a businesslike manner, we were ordered to meet here, are the enemies coming? Yes, it's not far ahead, it's already close to 200 meters. 105. 100. 80. 50. Joint ninjutsu launch. Doden, Earth style. Superior. Led by the second unit Captain Lois and his daughter Kuretsuchi, dozens of Doden, Earth style, ninjas jointly performed the ninja technique, turning the ground into a raised volcano, but the lava that spewed out was not Yuhi's lava, but a number of them. Unclear white Zetsu. These guys with milky white skin and bare leaves all over their bodies, each and every one like a ball like Jong Kiba dancing claws. Following Lois's order, the allied ninjas let go of their hands and feet. The detonating talisman opened the way, and the shuriken followed. Before the rumbling explosion sounded, countless black dots shot into the air. Kill them. Union's new book has been released. With the support of the brothers and sisters of the second element of losing conscience, they can vote for 2 comments and sprinkle a few flowers. Union would like to express my heartfelt thanks here. It's not easy to do anything these days. May Mother Earth protect you, aim. Text chapter 393 _ kill them all. Kiba pass Kiba. 8 trigrams vacuum palm. Insect jade. Yunli Ulision. Break. A series of attacks slay the enemy group. The dog of the Inuzuka family, the palm of the Hyuga family, the insect of the Aburame family, the sword of the Kumogakur ninja, and the sword of the warriors of the Iron Kingdom, all of which were given to the white Zetsu who were forced out. Baidu Interesting Academy. However, not enough. Although the coalition forces made various killing moves, it was still not enough. How many ninjas are there, and how many are white Zetsus? That's 100,000. 100,000 white Zetsu. Don't look at this thing, it's not much for us, it's very inconspicuous, but for the Hokage world, it is already the largest army in the entire continent. In this strange place where hundreds of soldiers can find a small place to build a country, 100,000 troops is definitely an unimaginable number. As for ninjas, the 5 major countries are pulling their fingers, and it takes 2 lectures on whether it is enough for 10,000. The 10,000 must be added to the old ones who are about to die, the young ones with big snot bubbles, as long as they can improve their chakra training. Even so, the so-called 10,000 is an imaginary number for bragging bee. Just like Boss Sao deceived an army of 800,000 people in the Battle of Chibi. However, the quality of the ninjas is very good, despite the lack of quantity. The weird world is never short of weird things, and Hokage is also a place with many ruthless horns. The old lady Chiyo once conquered the city alone, and Sasori of the Red Sand even destroyed the country by herself. 100,000 white Zetsu will return more, and the coalition is really not afraid of him. War. Only fight. Perhaps it was because they felt that hiding was meaningless. The discovered white Zetsu army emerged from the ground one after another. They used their hands to turn knives into swords and their feet to make swords, and their chests grew out of weapons like leaves, like 2 rows of protruding swords. Ribs. If Kimimaro is here, I'm afraid I'll have a sense of knowing. Heihei168.com. Kill. Kill them. Ninjutsu, ninja tools, ninja swords, ninjutsu, Yuhi, S, green, black, yellow, Yuhi, blue, all kinds of escape techniques have appeared. Just when the big guy hit a pack of fire, the ninja in charge of the reconnaissance behind screamed. Captain, be careful, reinforcements are coming from the opposite side, it's the dead man of Impure World reincarnation. Are they coming? Lois snapped at White Zetsu's neck, looking sideways at the rear of the enemy line. Where the sand and soil stack up, a row of figures slowly emerges. Standing at the front, the 2 figures tilted their heads from left to right. Seeing them, all the ninjas who knew the goods burst their eyes. Why are they all little devils? There is no one in the ninja world now. Whatever you do, just go back to sleep. They. Who are they? The one on the left is Pakula from our Sunagakur village. The one on the right is Carrie from our village of Iwagakure. They are all ninjas who have the boundaries of blood. Yo, and who knows us? Also in the back. This one is from our Kurigakure. That's our Konoha, S. Asshole, what the hell did Yakushi Kabuto do? Karafashi turned his head and glanced at his father. His nervous little face said to Yuhi, Dad, there will be trouble in this way, why don't we run away, Daddy? Kuritsuchi's father, Lois, gave Kuritsuchi a stern look. Crazy girl, what a bastard, how can you escape under the current situation? Can you beat them if you don't run? Kuritsuchi turned the Byakugan hard. It's hard to deal with that guy Carrie, not to mention he has helpers. If we can't fight, we have to fight, send a signal, and let the reinforcements move closer to us. Dad, you're so nasty, Daddy. Just as the sharp eagle roar sounded, the roar of Dada Dada was heard in the distance. Playing the awning and watching intently, a beast with a thick face, Yuhi, and a thick neck ran over. Youth, it's all youth, don't be afraid, brothers, the 6th generation of Konoha Hokage, the heroic blue beast is here. Let's light the fire of youth, let these monsters know what youth is. Youth is fighting. Quote. Konoha whirlwind. Where did this idiot come from? What did he do in the enemy's army? Dad, should we go and help his father? Help, Lois scolded with a big round face blackened into a discus. He is the 6th generation of Konoha Hokage. If you don't help, you have to help. But Dad, he's so brainless, should we be as brainless as him? Kuritsuchi blinked cutely, nibbled his fingertips and suggested, why don't we let him die with his youth? Quote. Bastard, speak quietly. Lois looked back and forth nervously. Although Po was moved, he still had to lead his team to attack for the sake of the coalition forces. Killed it. Attacking from the left and right, the first team pressed forward, and the coalition ninjas launched a strong offensive. The raging battlefield has reached the high court in an instant. In the northeastern part of this fierce battlefield, an army of over 1,000 was hiding. The leader was bandaged and covered with a big sword. The woman next to him was as beautiful as an ice spirit. If we don't kill Big Brother, are we going to attack? No, wait a minute, wait until they're completely together, the weird stuff isn't over yet. Besides, if I'm not wrong, reinforcements are coming. Then we... Wait. Zaibuju looked at Bai affectionately and said, the main purpose of this operation is to save lives. We are no longer ninjas, and everything is mainly about safety. See if the hedgehog has a head, his name is Carrie, and Iwagaker's level missing Nindidera formed the Bakuden, explosion-style, unit, and that long-haired woman over there, her name is Pakura, a Sunagaker ninja with the blood of Shikuden, scorched style. Quote. If I don't kill the Big Brother, I also have Hyoten, ice style. Haku smiled sweetly and narrowed his eyes, as beautiful as the moon Kiba. The Kurigaker ghosts looked at her tenderly. The two of them were working hard, and another group of unexpected characters appeared. It was not the coalition reinforcements that came, but another collection of Yakushi Kabuto. The moment I saw them, I was stunned if I didn't cut them. In the depths of the coalition forces, the raiding force finally caught fire with the bloody ninjas. Be careful, she's mummified and don't get touched by the ball of light beside her. What happens when you get hit? Before the ninja asked the question, a few rushing companions gave him the answer with their lives. Shikuden, scorched style, extremely steaming murder. My body. Generally, percent of the human body is water, percent of blood is water. The epidermis on the outer side of the dermis contains about percent of water, and the water of the stratum corneum is about percent to percent. My Shikuden, scorched style, can make these water all of them are turned into steam, be careful. The opened skin was first covered with dense blisters, and then turned into a dry yellow like the ground. All the allied ninjas who witnessed this scene swallowed their saliva. Is this the power of blood ninjas? So strong. The new book on the cloud, the second element of despairing conscience, brothers and sisters, go and watch it when you have time. Text chapter 394 The boss said that you don't want to shoot quietly. Bakuden, explosion style, mine fist. The horror of Shikuden, scorched style, ninjas has not yet fallen, and the horrors of Bakuden, explosion style, ninjas have come to mind again. Mobile reading is more convenient. m.heihei168.com. The fat ninja who was close stumbled and sat on the ground, and the whole person was scared stupid. How come? One punch down and people are gone. This is two. No bones left. This is a dead body. Is TNG gone? Be careful. Konoha Ascension. Seeing the fat ninja in a daze, Might Guy flashed in panic and kicked the enemy who wanted to attack him, shouting to him, in battle, there will be sacrifices, this is the most basic consciousness, self-disturbance will only increase in vain. It's worth making your companions die, understand? Newcomers. Roaring and looking at the confused eyes of the fat ninja, Might Guy's heart sank. These guys are still too young, and they are newcomers who have never been on the battlefield. Such new recruits are unreliable, and they must get their morale up or it's over. In the northeast of the battlefield, Haku looked at the 6 coffins doubtfully. If you don't kill the Big Brother again, who are they? The last generation of ninja swords consisted of 7 people. Momochi said in a deep voice, holding the big sword in his hands. The one with the chubby and white-faced Yui pattern on the far left is named Sukazan Fubuki, the former holder of the big sword shark muscle. Kuriarere Kushimaru with yellow hair and spiky head, holding a long knife and sewing needle in his hand. The short one with sharp beard is named Akabi no Jinin, and those 2 hammer-like axe are the blunt Kabuto cut. Munashi Jinpachi, who is blind in one eye and has a beard in a braid, and that scroll with a handle is a blaster. The woman with the double-flowered temples is named Ringo Amayuri, the former user of the thunder knife Kiba. The last Kiba with a pointy mouth is named Ghost Lantern Man Yu, who will follow me for a while. These guys are not easy to deal with. Heihei168.com. Haku's heart sank after hearing the words of Zaibujian, and he looked at the opposite side with a guarded gaze. But these guys obviously didn't come to them, and as soon as Fang recovered, he rushed into the anxious battlefield. Before our reinforcements arrived, the enemy reinforcements came again. Might Guy and Lois shed a cold sweat back to back. How long will your support last? It should be soon. Let's hold on for a while. I like murder. I would also like. How about sending them a gorgeous death? I prefer to sew people together. Then go. Kill more people than anyone else. 2 psychopaths took the lead, and 4 neuropaths followed. Kuriarere Kushimaru led the way into the crowd. His slender limbs almost formed a flat angle with the ground, and the long knife and needle pierced back and forth like a ghost. A little bit of blood splashed, and everyone lost their lives. In the blink of an eye, more than a dozen ninjas were dressed together. Kill me all. With a long knife in one hand and a steel wire in the other, the mentally ill man without looking back suddenly tightened his right hand. Horrible images appeared. The ninjas who were strung together turned into meat beggars and rolled together into stitched monsters. The arms and legs that go in and out are like sea urchins that have just been fished out of the sea. Seeing their tragic appearance, many recruits vomited. But before they could bend over, Munashi Jinpachi, who arrived later, swung his sword. Have fun with a blast. It is a ninja knife. It is better to say that it is the droplets of the scroll, and there is no sharp edge at all. This knife wants to use its power, all on the countless detonating symbols. If the level is not high, not only will you not be able to kill the enemy, but you will have to accompany yourself. However, this is not a problem for Munashi Jinpachi. Killing a crowd with such a terrifying weapon is no different from a self-destructing truck. They started, and the people who followed were not idle. Don't try to stop me from any defense. Blunt knife Kabuto cuts the owner, Akabi no Jinin joins. Ninjas grow up betrayed and betrayed, Sukazan Fubuki. More, Ringo Amayuri. I love the bloody, full moon of ghost lights. Horror, death, slaughter, the 6 knives of Kurigakure set off a storm of blood in the crowd. The young ninjas were terrified, holding the kunai shuriken. Seeing this, Might Guy Lois hurriedly shouted. All cheer up and fight. Fright can only bring death. Don't be intimidated by them, our reinforcements will be here soon. Are there reinforcements? Why don't we see it? Don't be a fool, isn't it a life-threatening fight against a guy like that? I'm scared, I'm quitting. Life on the battlefield was full of panic. Seeing that the Allied forces were not going well, Zabujan slowly clenched a big sword. Get ready. Sweden, water style, Kurigakure's art. The mist that suddenly appeared floated into the battlefield from the northeast, and the 2 sides who were fighting gradually realized that something was wrong. This is the art of Kurigakure, everyone be careful. It seems that a colleague is coming. Ghost Lantern Manu showed a half-faced grin from behind a hapless man. If you don't cut it again, it's you kid, this breath should be right. The owner of the beheading sword is here too. But looking at it, it doesn't seem to be from our side. Then kill him. Munashi Jinpachi swung horizontally to the enemy and swept back the enemy with one eye. Dot 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 dot. The mist was getting thicker, and Inuzuka Kiba sniffed uncomfortably. The nasty water mist affects even the sense of smell. Neji, did you find anything? A small force appeared, numbering close to 1,000, in the northeast. Is it the enemy? Might Guy thought and felt wrong. The direction is behind the enemy. Are they reinforcements? Looking at each other and Lois exchanged glances. Both men were stunned. Not pre-launched troops. Who are they? Never mind, as long as it's not an enemy. First firearms unit, let it go. The second firearms unit, let it go. The third firearms unit is retreating. Just after the 2 rounds of attack, they immediately ran away, and the white Zetsu, who had blasted out a large space in the sky, were all stunned. The perceptive ninjas of the United Army looked at each other, and they were horrified. At the same time, they were more angry. You said that all of you came and fought, and why did the enemy turn around and run away? Boss, why don't we fire more shots? Stupid. You have forgotten what the boss of Liamong said. Quietly shoot. Don't show your head. We are not ninjas. Why are you crazy? But. No but. Hurry up and run. They won't chase us after a while and then go back. The Cloud's new book, The Second Element of Despairing Conscience, is asking for support. Brothers and sisters, go take a look when you have time, sprinkle 2 flowers, and vote for 2 comments. Thank you in advance. Text Chapter 395 _ The 2 Giants of the Past. Here comes the bastards. Interesting academy. The bastards are gone. The bastards are here again. The bastards are gone again. Damn, what are these guys doing? When the enemy advances, we retreat. When the enemy retreats, we advance. When the enemy chases, we run. And when the enemy runs, we pursue. Under the guidance of the great Konoha gang leader and the gangsters' livid fighting thoughts, the gangsters armed with the X-improved individual bazooka turned into rascals on the battlefield. 1 shot and shouted, and 2 shots turned around, stunned the enemy and us. These guys are so shameless. Where did they come from? Shoulders are anti-X rocket launchers, they are wearing 9's bulletproof vests, and they are wearing Yabriding infantry boots. There is no 210 difference. The white Zetsu are very angry. The white Zetsu are very angry. It's not that they didn't think about chasing, but it's useless if they go less, and it won't work here if they go too much. Look, those guys are at it again. Rumble, boom. Look, those guys ran away again. Hulala, hulala. Is this really a battlefield? Why do I feel like a farce? The originally tragic atmosphere, because the troops trained by Liamong himself were dyed with a layer of laughter, turning the originally vigorous army into a ball-like farce. Brothers, oblique upper corner, prepare, let go. Boss, is it accurate to fight like this? You don't care if he is accurate or not, just hit it far. The boss of the interesting academy said that when the number of enemy troops is large, you don't need to be accurate, you only need to kill the range. But what? The younger brother who was talking shrank his neck. But boss, you seem to have made a mistake. What? Am I typing in the wrong place? And pointed in the direction of the coalition forces. Might Guy, who was almost crippled, hid behind the dirt wall called by Lois, and his whole body twitched. The gang leader who commanded the firing wiped his mouth. What? This is an accident. Wars are always full of accidents. Brothers retreat. These bastards. Extremely aggrieved by being bombarded by his own artillery, Might Guy's face was black, and the coalition troops fell into a hard fight. White Zetsu, who had an absolute numerical advantage, dragged the war into the quagmire. Inuzuka Kiba irritably flipped over several white Zetsu and shouted angrily, "The wave after wave is endless, when will it be ahead? Stop complaining there." Hyuga Neji clapped her palms in front of her and responded loudly, "If you have this skill, it's important to kill a few more. There are so many of these guys." Captain Lois. Headquarters. Thousands of troops have slipped past our feet. Hey Dad, are you listening? I see, don't be noisy. Lois roared loudly and strode forward. First. Thick fog, Munashi Jinpachi turned his head sharply, and waved his sword quietly. Silent killing. Little devil, you are too young. Scandium Chang decapitated the blasting knife, the flying foam, the broken knife, and the stabbed and pulled out pieces of sparks, and Munashi Jinpachi's eyes collided with each other. It's not easy to lose one eye and still feel so sharp. Little devil, all the people who attacked my bad ideas in the past have died, and you can't escape this fate. You say destiny, my destiny can only be determined by my own master. Water. Feeling the dangerous aura from the droplets, Teote retreated without slashing, and as soon as he retreated, the explosion came over. You can run away fast, but I don't know if you can run away next time. One blow failed and he disappeared again, and the Kurigakure ghost disappeared. Pieces of crystal snowflakes fell from the sky, and the cold ninjas raised their heads one after another. Will it snow here? What happened? Hyoten ice-style arcane crystallization. The snowflakes that fell on his body crunched into pieces, and the allied ninjas were not good, and the white zetsus were considered bloody mildew. The older Kurigakure froze in unison, and their suspicious companions asked, "What's the matter with you?" Shui Wuyu, it is the secret technique of the Shui Wuyu family, haven't they been exterminated? Water without moon, what is water without moon? The young ninjas looked at each other and couldn't tell, but the older ones all woke up. Two giants of Kurigakure, the land of water, Kagaya and Miyuki, are like Hyuga and Uchiha of Konoha, but similar to the hapless Uchiha, neither of these two clans will end well. After the Third World War, Shui Wuyu was expelled from jealousy because of her strength, and was eliminated as a threat. When she found that Kagaya, who was not good, wanted to resist, she died. Haku now really shocks these ninjas who know history. But today, their shock has obviously not reached the limit. Shikatsumyaku, Dead Bone Pulse, Dance of the Early Fern. Countless bone spurs were plucked from the ground, and Kimimaro, who arrived with the reinforcements, made a strong appearance. Advantage of Munashi Jinpachi's dodging efforts, Momochi slashed towards his back. Junior, I've been waiting for you, give me a blast. The banging detonating talisman brought bursts of fire, and the shattered water body fell to the ground. Munashi Jinpachi was stunned. Not a real person, where is the real person? Rei Kiba, launch the attack and let's go. Two long knives with curved blades were pointed in the air, and Kurosuke Rei Kiba, who had been preparing for a long time, released his big move. Lei Jinchuriki column dashed back and forth from the sky, and countless white zetsu turned into coke. Unlike normal humans, they were more like wood than people. Brother Rei Kiba, be careful. Suddenly, the screams from the side came into my ears, and two ninja swords flew to the side. Kurosuke Rei Kiba had just knocked off the weapon, and there was one more person in front of him. Double-flowered, long-tempered silver, and cold eyes, who else could it be if it was Aunt Ringo Amayuri? You are my successor. It looks so bad, the thunder knife is not used like you. Pressing his wrist with one hand and turning it around, Ringo Amayuri took back a weapon as soon as he appeared. Momochi didn't even cut Kurosuke, and Kiba didn't even have a chance to react. The thunder knife master who got the guy in his hand changed greatly, and the flashing electric current could compete with the sun and the moon. Big Brother Rei Kiba. No more beheading adults. The Cloud's new book, The Second Element of Despairing Conscience, has been released. The editor in charge said it is good. Brothers and sisters, hurry up and collect it. Text Chapter 396_ A strong man who abandons his past identity, an antique. Ringo Amayuri has won a thunder knife and his strength has skyrocketed, which makes people have to sigh at the wonder of this place in the world of Hokage. People are stronger than generations. Here is a generation that is more mad than a generation. What is crazy is not strength, but character. People with strength pretend to be awesome, and people without strength pretend to be stupid. Unfortunately, Momochi and Kurosuke Lake Kiba are not very smart. After a few years of stability, not only the original edges and corners have been smoothed out, but also the strength has also declined. No, it's bad luck. Compared with the two of them, Haku and Renmara are different. For the sake of their elder brother, the two of them practice hard on weekdays. But, a person who has not experienced battlefield experience is not a god-killing opponent like Ringo Amayuri. One round, just one round, both Haku and Renmara lost. Looking at Zaibushin and Lake Kiba, Yuhi light appeared in his eyes. Kill him. The beheading sword, which was battling with each other, pressed the back of the sword with his hand and pressed downward, and his eyes were rounded in awe without slashing. Die. Snort. A humming was an answer, and the one caught in the thunder light flew out. Got the thunder knife and the Ringo Amayuri who didn't get the thunder knife are two completely different concepts. Hurry, it's too fast. Give it back to me. Suddenly, the two lightning blades that stabbed forward were flipped and hooked back with the Kiba blade, and the raised pink leg was in the middle of the chest. Kurosuke Rai Kiba flew. Kurosuke Rai Kiba vomited blood and flew. With one enemy and 4 complete victories, the momentum of the veteran powerhouse is fully displayed. Rai Kiba, you take them away first. Ringo Amayuri with both knives in his hands, biting off the bandage and wrapping the handle of the big knives. He wrapped it very carefully, tightly wrapping the handle of the knife little by little. Ringo Amayuri didn't attack, and stabbed the thunder blade into the ground with both hands. Seeing this action, Momoji and Kurosuke Lake Kiba said nothing, picked up Shiro and Renmara and ran away. Within 2 steps, thunder rang out in the sky. Their chakra is unlimited. Kurosuke Lake Kiba said depressingly as he ran, if he hadn't zoomed in earlier, he wouldn't have been robbed by a single blow. Zaibuku, who was also at a disadvantage, nodded and said nothing, and threw a blue bottle over. Lake Kiba, why don't you go get the knife back? No need, it's not as important as you. Kurosuke Lake Kiba reluctantly looked back and closed his eyes. We've said goodbye to the past, and if the knife is gone, it's gone, so we can break the thoughts of those guys. You are looking at it. Teodi turned his head without doubt, and a feeling of reckoning appeared in his heart. Did this guy do it on purpose? Kurosuke Rai Kiba looked at him and said, this matter is over, I'm going to take Renmara back to seclusion. This guy really did it on purpose. Borrow the battlefield to throw away the knife, and then find a place to hide after you are done. Rai Kiba, you are really calculating. You are willing to give up the knife, am I not willing? Momochi turned his head to look at Haku's worried face, and suddenly threw the beheading sword out. Kurosuke Rai Kiba was stunned for a moment, then burst out laughing. White Zetsu all the way and was caught in the palm of his hand, and the ghost lamp full moon who slowly stood up from the ground showed a suspicious look. What are these two juniors doing? For the owner of the 7 knives of Kurigakure, the big knives will never leave the body unless they die or go into retirement in old age. Zaibuzan and Lake Kiba's actions really puzzled them. This is our junior, what a shame of 7 knives. Forget it, the world is not our world anymore, what are you doing? Kill people quickly. Armed with a beheading sword, he marched into the coalition, and the full moon of the ghost lamp set off an endless storm. It doesn't matter if others cut him, he cuts them to pieces. Might Guy Lois, the 2 troop captains, looked at them, their livers were angered, and their lungs were suffocated. Who the hell are they? Throwing the knife away completely lost its restraint, Zaibushin and Lake Kiba joined the gang. The waterfall cooperates with the lightning conduction, and it can destroy a lot of white Zetsu every time, and there are many accidental injuries to the party. Might Guy and Lois would really want to kill them if they hadn't been able to pull it out. We withdraw. After another round of attacks, they ran away, and the gangsters who consumed about the same amount of ammunition chose to leave. Once gone, never came back. The boundless yellow sand whimpered and blew across the wasteland, and a line of shallow footprints walked forward. Strangely, there was not even a single figure. Suddenly, the forward pace stopped. Gaara stood on the top of the weathered stone Jinchuriki column, clasped her hands and stared at the open space. At each other at a distance of several kilometers, the invisible second-generation Tsuchikage smiled. The perception of sand, the type of contact, thank you for being able to grasp the existence of nothingness. But this time it wasn't just me. Spiritism and pure world reincarnation. Tom tom tom. 3 coffins rose up from the ground, and 3 figures came out from the coffin board that was opened. The one on the left is burly, with a resolute complexion, and the long beard under his jaw is snow white. The one on the right, with a black hood, Yuhi's hair is full of hair, and his clenched brows are overflowing with worry. In the middle one, Xiaohu turned away, his eyes were hairless, and the corners of his smiling mouth were like a happy one. Where is this? The burly old man looked around. Oh, it's really not that the enemies don't get together, but it seems that there is a new person. The eyebrowless mustache cast his eyes aside. Yuhi's middle-aged man frowned more and more tightly. Tsuchikage, who was wrapped in bandages, explained, this trick is the masterpiece of the second-generation Hokage. It can recall the dead from another world and bind them. I was forced to call you out. Dead man, what's going on? The eyebrowless mustache was a little confused. Second-generation Tsuchikage smiled. Have you forgotten? You already died in my hands, second-generation Mizukage. Ah then. Wait, aren't you dead too? To be exact, it's the way I sent you. What's the matter? The second-generation Tsuchikage looked at the second-generation Mizukage and shook his head. Forget it, let's not mention this. What about the second-generation Hokage? Why can't I feel him at all, but if it is thousands of miles away? Tsuchikage let go of his senses and searched twice, and suddenly looked at the middle-aged man with Yuhi's hair. What the hell is going on? There are a lot of messes mixed together, and there is a face similar to him. Hey, who are you? Cried Reikage, the third-generation lion with white hair. Yuhi raised his head with his hair wrapped around his arms. I'm Kazekage, the 4th generation. Click. 4 generations. I have heard of the sturdy battles of the seniors, but the second-generation Hokage died long ago in my time. However, there is still a ninja who will use impure world reincarnation. His name is Orochimaru. The eyeball hidden behind the stone forest blinked quietly, and Gaara, who was thousands of meters away, raised his right hand. I got to the point today. I should be able to code at least 3 more chapters, and send as many as you want. The new cloud book, Second Dimension of Despairing Conscience, has been released. Brothers and sisters, let's go and have a look. Text Chapter 397_IQ determines success or failure. That gesture, is there an enemy approaching? Strangeness. Why didn't the headquarters contact us? Seeing the sweat on Nara Shikamaru's forehead, he lowered his voice. Could it be a strong man that the headquarters cannot find? Sunagakur, who was standing next to him, sighed, alas, maybe only such ruthless horns can be resurrected. Baidu Interesting Academy. What should I do? Me, I'm a little scared. Akamichi Choji patted his big belly nervously. Shikamaru, we won't die, right? Shut up you idiot. Yamanaka Ino squinted his teammate angrily. Choji grimaced, but I'm scared. You hold back when you're afraid. Headquarters camp, a ninja with a connecting pipe on his head reported loudly. The 4th unit has received news and found 4 enemies, namely the 2nd generation Tsuchikage, the 2nd generation Mizukage, and the 4th generation Kazekage. No wonder there are 3 auras suddenly appearing, and there is one that cannot be sensed. This must be done by no adults. 2 days, Onoki stroked his beard and made an assertion. The 4th generation of Reikage asked in a deep voice, there is another one, and who is the other one? The perception ninja swallowed hesitantly. It's the 3rd generation Reikage, Sama. What? Bang hands. Slapped on the table and stood up. I was startled. Reporting the letter, the ninja turned his head to look beside him. Kurigakure intelligence leader Ching narrowed his one eye. Couldn't even the perception system of the headquarters be aware of it? What a benefit. No wonder then. Master Ching, there are too many white monsters, and I can't distinguish them from specific people. The first unit led by Tarui will soon encounter thousands of enemies. Please feel the white monsters and the dirty soil and turn around. Dead man, please. Okay, leave the delicate work to me, and you will take over the whole situation. Excuse me. The tense atmosphere gradually condensed in his chest, and the fourth-generation Reikage almost bit into a big Kiba, Akatsuki, who even daddy should be damned, I won't let you go. Oops. The enemy group facing the first unit is mixed with a large number of dead people from Impure World reincarnation, and they are all ruthless horns with considerable interests. On the coastline, Tarui looked at the white Zetsu troop that emerged from the sea and tugged at their collars. Notify me and enter a combat state. Yes. One after another head appeared like a turkey rat. Tenten clenched his fist nervously, so many. It's not just the quantity, I just checked it with Byakugan, and it turns out that they are rivals as the headquarters said. Hiyashi-sama, a member of the Hyuga family suddenly exclaimed, look, it's 2 o'clock. That is. The green swastika seal-like poison came into view, and Hyuga Hiyashi's eyes suddenly protruded from their sockets. Not far from him, a bristled Kumogakure ninja cat jumped high as if stepping on its tail, startling everyone with a panicked look. No way. What did you see? The frightened ninja was very dissatisfied. The bristled Kumogakure said with a sad face, they are the golden horns and the silver horns. The long horns on the top of the head stand on the back and the left arm is tattooed with gold, and the right arm is written with silver. The two brothers with similar looks are very eye-catching. Ching, who was perceiving the details of the rebuke, was shocked. What's going on? Those two people actually have Kyubi, 9 tails, chakra, which is terrifyingly strong. Kyubi, 9 tails, chakra. The fourth generation of Reikage puckered out his beard in surprise. That must be our Kumogakure's golden-silver brother. So far, only Lao Su has come out in person. This can't be done. Nara Shikaku hurriedly dissuaded him when he heard the words. Sir Reikage, please stay. You are the supreme commander of the coalition forces, and you must command the coalition forces until the last moment without fail. This is the only way to be responsible to your subordinates, and you must not act rashly. Tsunade. What happened to Tsunade-sama? Nara Shikamaru looked at Senju Tsunade suspiciously and wanted to invite her to fight, but now she is in this state. The gold-and-silver troop has appeared, so is it said to be there. Senju Tsunade stared at the front in a daze, and while he was stunned, Ching shouted again, please make a decision as soon as possible. The enemy's forces are too strong, and the first unit will definitely be unable to stop it. Don't panic, the battlefield is changing rapidly, that's why I came here. Please look at the map. Nara Shikaku got up and came to the center, picked up a drawing pen and explained while drawing. On the battlefield, concentrate superior forces and be flexible. Allocation of tactics is the iron rule. If there are invading enemies in both places, they must be eliminated one by one, just like Battlefield A and Battlefield B. Quote. Nara Shikaku said and drew, in this case, what we have to do is to take the lead in defeating the enemy at A. Concentrate the reinforcements on the first unit of Tarui, and let the 5th unit of Admiral Mikua stretch longitudinally for reinforcements, merge with the other units. Then order Lois' 2nd unit to expand horizontally and encircle the enemy from the sea. Although this will make the 2nd unit's strength tight, it is good to have the vertically stretched 5th unit as its rear barrier. Nara Shikaku said, and pointed the drawing pen to the 4th unit. The next step is to order Gaara to change the formation to V, while luring the enemy deep, and then draw out half of the troops to join the first part to form reinforcements. After the enemy at A is completely wiped out, then join the first unit and rush to B, cut off the enemy's back road. Why do you want to attack A first? Reikage of the 4th generation asked with a solemn expression. His father was at B. Nara Shikaku took a deep breath and continued to explain. Because the 2nd and 5th units are the closest to A, it is easy to deploy, and the 2nd unit led by Lois has already encountered the enemy, so it will be more effective to outflank the white monsters. If there is another location B, the enemy will not dare to strong attack. When our troops are suddenly have, they must be suspicious and dare not act rashly. Quote. Nara Shikaku said this with a confident smile. Even if they launch an offensive, Gaara's troops are mainly long-range attacks. With their good attack methods, they can completely retreat while fighting, effectively delaying the enemy's close time. This way, we can make a time difference. Commander, do you have any questions? The fourth generation of Raikage took a deep look at Nara Shikaku, and snorted with a sigh. No wonder Konoha has endured for so long. It turns out that there are a group of capable people like you. The Commander-in-Chief has won the prize. Please make additional explanations. If not, please give an order as soon as possible. After you've said what I have to say, just do as you say. Shikaku got Raikage's affirmation and immediately turned back to his teammates and shouted, Inoichi, are you listening? Don't worry, contact has been started. In addition, the captain of the 3 ships has been informed about the surprise attack force, and they are rushing to the front. The medical team led by Shizune is stationed at the rear of the battlefield. For the time being, there is no need to worry about the wounded. Okay, please keep watching. Nara Shikaku let out a sullen breath and wanted to order, but the old man Tsuchikage suddenly interjected, wait a minute, the Nara clan of Konoha. You said. To make this plan perfect, we have to do something. There should be 2 chapters left, the cloud is working hard, everyone can read the new book when you have time, it is not easy for newcomers. The second element of the Lost Conscience is really good. Text chapter 398 _ the increasingly fierce battlefield. Do something. What to do? Everyone in the room was taken aback when they heard old man Tsuchikage's words. Mobile reading is more convenient. m.heihei168.com. 2 days later, Onoki took a deep breath, and Senju Tsunade, who happened to hear this, raised his eyes and said, second generation Tsuchikage is far from what ordinary ninjas can do. To deal with him, only Grandpa Tsuchikage can do it. Is there anything special about him? Nara Shikaku was stunned for a moment, and everyone who plays with his brains has this problem. The 4th generation Raikage's eyes sank slightly. He is the owner of the blood-based elimination that claims to be stronger than the blood-based limit. What? The blood is eliminated. Nara Shikaku said 2 things in a row, and exclaimed at the old man Tsuchikage, isn't that only you have, don't you mean the 2nd generation? The 2-day scale Onoki Lao Ganba twitched his face, and his voice was extremely difficult. The combination of the 3 properties of wind, fire and earth is the masterpiece of the 2nd generation Tsuchikage, and he is also the teacher who taught me Jinten particle style. The long yellow sand whistled through the stone forest, and Kazekage, the 4th generation head, turned his wrist and said, the body loses control from time to time, and it seems that it is still under certain constraints. It seems so. The 2nd generation Mizukage glanced at the 2nd generation Tsuchikage maliciously. I wanted to kill this guy, but I can't help it. HMPH. I also want to stretch my muscles, it's a pity. The 2nd generation Mizukage and the 2nd generation Tsuchikage have hatred, and the 3rd generation Raikage also has hatred with them. 4 generations of Kazekage stared at these 3 guys with a head full of Spartans. Is this the relationship of the ancestors? It's messy enough. Generation Tsuchikage and the 2nd generation Mizukage have a feud for murder, and the 3rd generation Raikage and the 2nd generation Tsuchikage also have inseparable beams, not to mention the 2nd generation Mizukage. In short, if these 3 guys weren't bound by impure world reincarnation, the meeting would definitely be a deadly rhythm. The 4th generation of Kazekage frowned with a headache, and out of the corner of his eyes suddenly found the eye of sand floating in the shadow of the stone forest. Gaara. Deep in the dense woods, in a hidden 2-story building, a group of men with fans on top of their heads are sitting together. You look at me in a daze, I look at you in a daze, it's either this is drooling, or that one is urinating. Interesting Academy first release. This group of ninjas is good enough, how long are they going to keep us big names in this shabby house? Okay, it's for our own good if you're annoying or not. Instead of yelling here, think about how to appease them. It won't be over until 2 medals are issued. Daimyo mentioned the bunch of grapes in the idle wind earlier. I can't give them back the money, this time I have given enough. Then give out medals. The Land of Water Daimyo took over with an ugly expression. This thing is cheap, it's just right to send them off. The big name of the country of fire slapped the folding fan. Since you all agree, let's think about the name of the medal. Is it here? Juju, who is half black and half white, looked at Mulu with his head open, and jumped up after confirming it again and again, aiming directly at the big name showing his back. The shuriken was shot from the bouncing bamboo tube, and the ninjas who heard the sound turned their heads. Enemy attack. Hurry up and catch him. He was able to escape my perception. Is he a special ninja? With one glove on Maso and the other with a fishing net, the ninja in ambush pounced on Ju, who rushed into the house. Fucked. The 5 puppet dolls standing with their backs to the window suddenly showed hideous faces, and swish poisonous needles shot out from their open mouths. Sunagakur Puppet Master. Catch him. The 5 puppet dolls that made a sound of Caracalla suddenly turned around, and the crisscrossed rope nets were thrown over in all directions. Ju glanced at them when they found the wrong person, and sank into the ground in disdain. The guard ninjas who lost their ropes looked at each other, widened their eyes, and ran away. How did you get away? Ha, I remember a good name. Daimyo of the Kingdom of Fire suggested standing by the window. Let's call it Konoha Hidden Village in the Kingdom of Fire, Sunagakur Village in the Kingdom of Wind, Kurigakure Village in the Kingdom of Water, and Hidden Village in the Kingdom of Earth. How about the joint medal of Iwagakure Village in the country and Kumogakure Village in the country of Thunder? Quote. It's too long, how about simply calling it the Ninja United Medal? It's not good, it's not good. The name of the Kingdom of Wind shook his head and said, it's too short and lacks majesty, and why should the fire be ranked first? It's not fair. The name of the flower changed, and the quarrel came from the floor, and the heads of the ninjas standing on the roof were big. These big names are really idle, what's the use of us wanting those medals? That's their job. An older ninja spread his hands. Don't underestimate these things. Without them, how would our honor be reflected? Someone has to set a standard. Ah, that's right. Seeing the relieved expression on the junior's face, the older ninja advised, if you want to get this thing, you have to cheer up and relax your vigilance, but you can't do it, you'll have to move soon. It's really troublesome. Is it necessary to go around 5 places? The older ninja's face was slightly grim. Don't say such annoying words. We have to deal with the legend of Uchiha Madara. No matter how careful you are, it's not too much. Senior, I know, but it's really annoying. A raid was fruitless, and it was a huge loss of face, and it must have emerged from the forest. To actually deceive me with a trap is too contemptible. Since that is the case, let you see my strength. A slap melted into the tree pole and closed his eyes, never letting out his own perception. I am the earth. The earth is me. At the edge of the coastline, Tarui raised his distressed eyelids as he watched the enemy rushing towards the beach. Although it's boring, let me tell you why I should defend the coastline. Attention, the first unit, I'm going up. Yes. Raiden Thunder Style, Black Madara. Inherited from the 3rd generation of Reikage, Kekkei Genkei, the fusion ninjutsu of the 2 natural transformations of thunder and water, pounced on the enemy group in the form of a cheetah, and cooperated with the metal spikes buried in the sand in advance. Tarui took the lead and made a ruthless attack. All the white Zetsu standing in front stopped their movements. A paralysis coming from their bones took away their control over their bodies. Kumogakure ninjas in the coalition were excited. Black Lightning, the only one who inherited the thunder tattoo from the previous generation Reikage, is Captain Tarui. Watch out above. Black Lightning blocked the attack below, and the strong men from White Zetsu and Impure World Reincarnation simply jumped into the air. Don't underestimate us. The little beauty Tenten swiped and unfolded the giant scroll on her waist, and in the white mist, countless shuriken flew upwards. There were countless ninjas who attacked with her, and the battle broke out in an instant. Kill them. It was a little late, and the upstairs was dry again. It was said that the place where Yun Yun lived was really vomiting blood. Upstairs, the old Goryo Mrs. Goryo and the Goryo children are so talented. They have to fight every week. If they don't fight, they are uncomfortable. I really want to chop them off with a knife. Text Chapter 399 New Discoveries of Impure World Reincarnation. The shuriken that threw the sky and the earth, the detonating talisman that overturned the river and the sea, and faced the white Zetsu troops and the reincarnated dead who jumped out of the sea, the ninja allied force burst out with incredible attack power. Interesting academy. Black dots like locusts fell, and colorful escape techniques rose again. Futon, wind style, Datapa, great breakthrough. Kaden, fire style, how long fire. Sweden, water style, great falls. All kinds of ninjutsu came on stage. After you sang, we started again. There were familiar ninjas who also played combined ninjutsu. After the gorgeous mid-range and close-range attack came to an end, the allied ninjas went up with their knives and started a tragic close-range fight. The white Zetsu army, who had an absolute advantage, rushed into the crowd one after another. The blood was splashing, and the souls were roaring. In less than half a minute, the light yellow beach by the sea was stained with blood to a dark yuhi color, and even the waves became dirty. There was a disgusting smell in the air, the smell of meat when the corpse was scorched mixed with the sweetness of the blood overflowing, and the mixture made people's throats and eyes blocked. In such a tragic battlefield, many recruits felt fearful, but unfortunately, the veterans did not have the time to answer them, and all the strong men in the coalition were dragged by the dead of impure world reincarnation. The king sees the king, this is the unchanging truth since ancient times. You're plumper again, Choza. I'll be even more plump. Akamichi Choji's father looked at his familiar partner with a dark face, and Kato Dan lowered his eyelids in loneliness. Not far from them, the two men with eyes met. The black kimono on the left, the Jingbo bunt on the right. Go back, I'll do this battle myself. My lord. He's my younger brother. Hyuga Hiyashi waved his hand without looking back, and the ninja who wanted to persevere heard this and was silent. Baidu Interesting Academy. Swastika on her forehead, Hyuga Hazashi apologized, seemingly helpless and excited. I'm sorry brother, I who should have protected main clan have now become your enemy. Maybe this is my punishment for hating main clan. Well, even my own soul has to be manipulated. I thought I could be freed after death, but I didn't expect that the fate of this curse would not spare even the dead. Hyuga Hazashi stared at the double Byakugan and sighed. Remember what I told you back then. I would rather die not to protect main clan, but to protect my brother Neji and my relatives. Now, I have been denied even this insistence. Now, isn't that funny? Relentless fate, you always play tricks like that. Hazashi, there is no destiny in the world that is not destiny, everything is in your hands. Really? Hyuga Hazashi stared at Hyuga Hiyashi self-deprecatingly. If it wasn't fate, why would I have this when I was born a moment later than you? Hyuga Hazashi, who no longer had the Konoha forehead guard, laughed frantically. What am I now? I died for the village and for the family, but I can't even die, so you still want to when will you play tricks on me? Hate is higher than the sky. Resentment is thicker than the ground. If there are undead that can be freed from the control of dirty soil, naturally there will be undead who can escape from the master with hatred. This is like the 2 points in Tai Chi, there is the ultimate yin and there is the ultimate yang. Sasori of the Red Sand was relieved by Konkuro's memory, and Hyuga Hazashi fell into madness because of his own resurrection. Do I even want to die? Tell me. Is this just fate? Yakushi Kabuto, who was remotely controlling impure world reincarnation, was stunned, and after he was stunned, he burst into laughter. Interesting, very interesting, what kind of secrets are hidden in such a treasure left by Orochimaru-sama? Sasori of the Red Sand, Hyuga Hazashi, just let me keep my eyes open. Brother, you have fallen. Ha ha ha, what is depravity? Hyuga Hazashi stared at Hyuga Hiyashi with black mist all over his body, don't you call it depravity if you don't spare the dead. I'd rather die, but now I can't even die. Hyuga stream gentle fist method shock. The chakra agitation of the whole body is sprayed out from the acupoints, breaking the meridians every inch. This is not a physical technique, nor a forbidden technique, it is a suicide technique. But, even though he had given up hope of living, he had to recover. Hyuga Hazashi, who was intact again, laughed madly and thought about it. Have you seen it? Have you seen my cursed fate? Brother, this is the sadness of the separation, and this is my fate that I cannot be redeemed even after death. The cursed thing was doomed from the moment I was born. After Hyuga Hazashi roared with resentment, he suddenly turned his eyes. Is that Neji over there? What do you want to do? Hyuga Hayashi heard something wrong. I don't do anything. I want my son to be freed. I want him to be smashed to pieces and nothing will be left, so as not to be sad like a father like me. Are you crazy? Hyuga Hayashi exclaimed. Hyuga Hazashi shouted to him horribly. I'm not crazy, I'm crazy, this damn fate. Embrace your darkness, Neji, we who are the cursed will never have light. Gentle fist la 8 trigrams Baoshenkong. Completely ignoring Hyuga Hayashi's attacking hands, Hyuga Hazashi brazenly launched a surprise attack on his own son. Hyuga Neji was stunned for a moment. Get out of the way. Ellipsis. The pupils of the body flung in the air burst open in disbelief. Hyuga Neji never thought that his father would attack him anyway. Child, don't blame Dad. Dad cherishes you. Let this cursed fate end here. Hazashi, you bastard. 8 trigrams palm revolving heaven. Away Neji with a palm, turning around and spinning. Hyuga Hayashi chakra broke out and blew Hyuga Hazashi out. 10-10, who ran to Neji's side, kept shouting, but hey. Cough. Hyuga Neji, who was coughing up blood, didn't answer, and he stayed like a fool. In front of the surprise attack force, Kankuro and the others stopped in their tracks. Grandma Chio. I'm sorry, I'm going to cause you trouble, what about Sasori? He's free. Kankuro took out the scrolls of his father and mother from his arms and spread it out, seeing their Chio showing a smile. Deidara was overjoyed when she heard the turning point outside. Hey, are reinforcements here? Get me out of this shit, I haven't exploded enough yet. You're trapped in it because you can't explode. Bakuden, explosion-style kid. This is too. Asshole. Who told you to talk too much? Who are you? The death was finally over, and the cloud called the top dry to vomit blood, and called the police in the middle of the night. This is so talented, and I don't know if I need money to send the police, and it won't torture people in the winter. Wow, go, these two choreo old men and women, almost become gods of war. Text chapter 400 _ crazy world crazy people. Haha, who am I? I'm Hanzo of the Salamander. It's easier to read on a mobile phone m.heihei168.com. The man with a full-cover respirator sternly announced his name, making no secret of his hatred and killing intent. You guys, whether Akatsuki or the allied forces of the 5 nations, they are all my enemies. It's just this shameless ninjutsu that makes my body not obey. But it doesn't matter, you all have to finish it in a while. Listen, prepare to retreat. Kankuro stared at the man opposite him without blinking, his heart stunned. This guy is not a character that anyone can deal with. The man known as a demigod, Kai, is the same generation. If you think about it, Chio's mother-in-law is a lot easier to deal with. After all, she can't bring out her strongest ability. The headquarters of the allied forces, Lu Meng picked out his ears and said hello to Senju Tsunade. He sat down on the chair next to him, looking at the 4th-generation Raikage with anger. Are you, June 20 inches? You have to explain the matter of the 2nd unit. Explain what? Liamong flexed his fingers and blew. Those were all accidents, and the ones I sent weren't ninjas. I don't care if they are ninjas or not, I just want to ask you, why did you attack the friendly army? They attacked the friendly army. Is there any? Liamong asked, pretending to be surprised. It's impossible, they would never do such a thing. Boom. Don't pretend to be confused with Lao Su. The fourth generation Hokage slapped the table with a slap. Tell those people under your command that if they dare to do anything misleading, Lao Su will order them to be killed. I said, Uncle Hokage, how can you be so angry? Okay, there is no place to keep the master here, there is a place to leave the master. Sister Tsunade, we should go too. Where do you want to go? Hokage of the fourth generation glared at Liamong. This bastard can just go by himself, he still wants to. Please stay. The interesting academy will start. Nara Shikaku had no choice but to get up and say, the third generation Tsuchikage is supporting Gaara, the fourth generation Mizukage is protecting the daimyo, and the sixth generation Hokage is also on the battlefield ahead. Now the headquarters is scarce, and I hope Needless to say, Liamong shook his head. I will go to Gaara's place to see my father-in-law, Sister Tsunade, she also has something to do. 4 generations of Hokage's old face turned black and bit Kiba. What more Nara Shikaku wanted to say. Lumeng and Tsunade pushed the door and walked out. You little bastard who is good at making decisions for me, you will embarrass my sister by doing this. Tsunade rolled his eyes and became a mess in his heart. Are you really going to see that man, and what can you say when you see him? Liamong gently smoothed Tsunade's messy hair. Some people will never forget some things. If you want to make an end, you have to face it bravely. He is very important to you, and I don't want you to regret it. You little bastard. Senju Tsunade flicked his obscene forehead in a funny way. You bastard, don't use a preaching tone to this princess and make yourself look like how old you are. My good sister, I'm caring about you, okay. Liamong rubbed his forehead innocently. Moment of silence. Senju Tsunade shook off his hair, looking bleak under the sun. Looking at the back of her leaving in the wind, Lumeng let out a long sigh, and was about to turn around and say thank you. Before the coastline battlefield, the Hyugahazashi brothers fought all over the field, and Kakuzu, who became a big monster, was one move. Word. If a ninja like Sasori of the Red Sand is reincarnated, its combat effectiveness will be greatly reduced, then Kakuzu is tantamount to multiplying his strength. Without the restriction of chakra, his madness alone is enough to drive the entire coalition mad. Wind and fire, soil and water, all kinds of combined ninjutsu, one side is muddy and another is withered, and the dead ninjas have strange appearances. This guy has too much interest, and we are no match at all. Look for the captain, such a guy should let those who have interests come. The ninjas at the bottom of the coalition were tortured by Kakuzu and went crazy and wanted to ask Tarui for help, but they didn't know that Tarui was more troublesome than them now. I am so sorry, but it's really my generation's fault for letting the splendid golden horn silver horn in Kumogakure suffer this humiliation. Humph. This shameless ninjutsu was used by the guy from the second generation Hokage. Golden horn, isn't he dead? Silver corner, don't be careless. Those things will be discussed later. This kid in front of us has a thunder tattoo, and it doesn't seem to be very easy to deal with. Tarui rolled his eyes at his shoulders and sighed. For the next thing, please don't blame me for being rude, and don't let yourself down. Because I'm going to strip off the silver-plated on Ni's body, although this is boring, but facing Ni, it is better to use my Gale style, Storm style, to solve it in one go. Quote. Ha ha ha, what a big tone. How dare you be so arrogant in front of our brothers. Jin Zhao, our junior looks very arrogant. No way, it's too late. Even our juniors know very little about us. Jin Zhao said with a slight pause, and continued with a stern tone, then let him experience the horror of our brothers firsthand, and let the world remember our gold and silver names again. Quote. Swish, 2 figures jumped in front of them and took a stance. Tarui, who was about to start, fixed his eyes. Yellow hair and blue eyes and big breasts, Samui took her younger brother to protect him. Captain, it's better for us to test such a guy first. The records about them in the book are not simple, and these 2 guys are not good people. Yo, chick, do you know our brother's information? You who attacked the second Hokage are a disgrace to the entire Kumogakure village. Ha ha ha, Golden Horn, Do you hear me? This chick said we were a disgrace. Idiots juniors, who don't know anything and talk nonsense. The real shame is that guy with a cramp in his head. His IQ is completely inversely proportional to his strength. Forget it. What do I do with you juniors talking about these useless things? Since if you want to fight, have a good fight. Quote. He opened his mouth and spat out 2 grips, and the gold-silver brothers showed their madness. Come on, corner silver. Okay, golden horn. You really did what happened some time ago. Samui looked at the Jin Silver brothers with cold eyes and raised his voice to remind everyone, be careful of their weapons. Those are the 6 paths immortal relics that our Kumogakure village once collected. What? 6 paths fairies? Habuchiha Madara, even 6 paths came out. We are crazy, or the world is crazy. A new book has been opened in the cloud, and I personally feel that the second element of losing conscience has made great progress. Brothers and sisters, please go and read it when you have time.